Yeah, Vernum, I think you've been lied to. I think we've all been lied to be honest. Unfortunately, I think there's a little bit more to it than just how you use it, but who knows? I mean, I think maybe there's a fine line. Like there's a sweet spot in there. No pun intended. Somewhere between size and technique. We are talking about uh, what? Wait, what are we talking about? Anyways, guys, hello Wednesday. I actually wasn't planning on streaming tonight. I was gonna just make a video and chill. I was going to finish the first Witcher book. I've got like 30 pages left. I put it down last night at midnight. I'm like, I got. But yeah, I was looking forward to just getting a video made, maybe playing a little bit of Arc Raiders, and snuggling up in bed with my book. But unfortunately, I don't know. I don't know how to put it. I was originally planning tonight on covering the Overwatch drama with, of course, the insane voice actress getting her way. Dude, I don't know if you guys noticed. All right. If you're too dinky, then there's no... Yeah. I don't know if anybody noticed, but after my live stream on Monday, went to just, into the video section. Holy crap, it is my most disliked live stream of all time. I got all these freaks and weirdos from the Overwatch community who didn't even watch my live stream. Oh, you grifters, you con men, you guys are all the same, you're lying. Nobody's trying to make the character ugly, you're all full of shit, you're all evil, grifting lie. I'm like, holy crap, guys. First off, none of these guys actually watched the live stream because I said, oh, picking up the wrong mic? Okay, that's probably a thing, hang on. Yep, just give it 1 sec. 1, 2.
And it should magically be better now. Yeah, I have told my computer to disable that webcam's microphone so many times. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, it just refuses to quit. I don't know. Oh, but long story short, though, these, Oh, hey, Mari. Well, don't stay too long. If you need sleep, definitely get some sleep. But yeah, these people, these freaking weirdos, man. Overwatch community, the Goon Squad. No, man, I'm not kidding. So we streamed for about 3.5 hours on Monday. That was a long. Okay, good. Yeah, guys, it's my freaking, like, I'm gonna go check out my properties real quick here. Sound settings. All sound devices. And in here, I have got the webcam disabled. But for some weird reason, it has that set as the default communication device. I have audio don't allow set. I don't know what it's doing. I do not know what it's doing. I don't know why it's doing that. It says disabled now. I don't know. But yeah, guys, these freaks and weirdos from the Overwatch, what do you call them? Community, I guess. The Goon Squad, I guess that makes sense too if that's all they're doing, playing that game. They were going after me in the comments. I'm like, holy shit, what are you guys, like 15? No life? But, they didn't even watch the part where we talked about the design of the character, the honest critiques, the problems people could have with the character, and everything else. We went over all that. Hey, Lugia. It was just, they saw the thumbnail, they saw the title, and they're like, oh no, another evil grifter, we gotta get him. It's like, guys, first off, grifter, con man, these don't mean what you guys think they mean. It only means grifter if I'm doing or saying something that I don't believe because I'll get some sort of monetary benefit. It's the weirdest thing. Because Windows thinks you should have that one's default. My Windows always does that, yeah. Which is so weird because they are both USB devices. It's not like one of them's like hardwired into the computer or some crap, right? They're both plug it into your USB drive. It's crazy. Anyways, guys, we are going to get into all that in a second. I did see I did see some crap. Hang on. Overwatch 2. Although they're not calling it Overwatch 2 anymore. Another big brain move by Overwatch. Let me see here. Yeah, Blizzard set to redesign newly announced Overwatch hero after community backlash. It wasn't this one though. It was another one from The Gamer. Grifter equals you're not saying what I want you to say. Dude, it's the weirdest thing, man. Oh, Discord. The whole Discord thing is crazy. I haven't even tried making a video on Discord because there's just so much to it. Discord situation is crazy. Us people losing everything. First it was games, you don't own your games. Then it's movies, TV shows. Well, I mean, to be fair, I think we lost our music and movies before video games, right? I mean, Netflix was the thing that really made the push from physical to digital before video game streaming became a thing. And then once Game Pass and video game streaming became a thing and more people got into PC gaming, us PC gamers, I'm going to eat some of the blame for everything going digital, not actually owning physical copies, because the success of Steam, of platforms where you can play games and purchase games digitally without needing a physical disc, has played a large part in getting rid of physical media. But yeah, I think Netflix was really the first step in the direction that we've been headed. I want to say they were the first ones to really adopt a digital-only platform after being physical, you know? They make, yeah, the fan fiction, the fan adaptations, sure. But it's more the annoying fact that people don't understand. It's like two things can be true. The character might not resemble the animation that you all liked and that you all expected. So sure, you can change the character to look more like the animation. But then you have the voice actors coming out and complaining about beauty standards and progressive bullshit. It's like two things can be true, guys. Come on. Let me see here. And then I saw that there was a new video from the actress as well. Probably have to go to the gamer's website. Oh yeah, here it was. Overwatch fans are asking to let the Phoenix out. Also written by Jade King. Oh, too ironic. Too ironic. All right, let me pull this up here. Hang on. Get rid of the music. My son was streaming Apex Legends up until about 30 minutes ago, and I'm like, dude, go to bed. Turn that off. I don't want to be playing moderator anymore. Go to sleep. Here we go. All right, so designer claims most of Highguard's dev team have been laid off weeks after launch. Now, the thing is, guys, we'll go through some of the developers who've been let go. We'll go through some of their statements, some of the stuff they posted on social media. But what I really want to focus on tonight is the COPE, the SALT, the people who are complaining and whining online that this game is probably on the verge of death, despite the fact that none of them are currently playing it. I mean, hell, talk about not supporting a game, right? Blizzard just shows that they'd rather virtue signal than make money. And yeah, most Overwatch players are in China and they love the original design. Exactly. So from an aesthetic standpoint, there's no question in my mind that the character animation was terrible. She looked awful. Okay. It looked like a character you would create if you wanted to challenge beauty standards, obviously. However, if that's what they wanted the character to look like, fine. I can understand you want the character to match. But yeah, like you're saying, Overwatch has a massive player base in China, and they liked the character that they saw in the reveal trailer. What was I looking for? Oh, yes, I remember now. Okay. This is what I was looking for. Hang on a second. Got this, I got that one. Talking about the whole modern audience. Oh, and people that want to complain that the mic mutes within the first 20 minutes every single time I stream. I can use it for hours. Otherwise, I could record videos through OBS. I could do whatever I want to. But for whatever reason, the first 20 minutes I stream is when it cuts out. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Community project with hundreds of accessories and clothing options available for free. Yeah. No, Blender is probably going to go crazy with that character. So this is the point that I'm talking about when it comes to Highguard. People that want to virtue signal, people that want to talk about how great something is, how amazing something is, how you should love it, you shouldn't hate it, you shouldn't be allowed to criticize it. You just need to consume. Consume. And, they give out likes and they love everything, right? Everything's great. Everything's great. Don't complain about anything. So I put this out there yesterday. I guess today is the 11th. Yeah, I'm losing track of what day it is. And so yesterday that game relooted, where you play Africans in the future stealing artifacts that were stolen from you back in the previous time, right? I said, apparently Relooted just launched. Over on Blue Sky, the official account got almost 1,000 likes in 5 hours. Meanwhile, Steam paints a different picture. These people are the actual tourists. Never let them tell you otherwise. So on Blue Sky, yesterday morning, in 5 hours, this post saying, please enjoy the museum. Relooted is out now. Please share. This was from the developers of the game over on Blue Sky. 533 reposts, 71 quotes, 979 likes. This doesn't even account for the 21,000 likes that Epic Games got on their tweet last year talking about this game. So you're talking tens of thousands of people easily liked a tweet or a post or a Blue Sky post or whatever in conjunction with this game, right? The Black Panther Killmonger scene. Dude, Killmonger sucked. Anybody who wants to act like Killmonger was an amazing villain, you're just lying to yourself. Those movies were terrible. Don't forget about Microsoft either. They own them, so probably have a hand in that decision too, yeah. I mean, Lucia, they could be bots, but at the same time, I'm inclined to believe it's just worthless virtue signaling by a bunch of people who don't put their money where their mouth is. Yeah, roughly tens of tens played it. So, at launch, the game had a all-time 24-hour peak of 57 people. Now, the thing about this game, I played the demo last year, and the demo was one of my least watched live streams. And that's saying something, because my game streams, I mean, depending on the game, back when I used to actually stream games last year, I mean, they'd have anywhere from like 15 live viewers to maybe 20 or 30 of you guys, but never high numbers. And I'm not a big game stream watcher myself either, unless it's a game that I'm really interested in that I want to know more about. I don't tend to watch too many game streams these days anymore either. This one, when I played the demo, I was beyond bored. I was incredibly bored. I could not hide my boredom. It was garbage, okay? Just, it's a game that doesn't need to exist. It's stupid, right? There are dozens of us, dozens. Yeah, it was painful to watch, and it was painful. Yeah, 57 for a new game, Mari, and this game had help from Chris Kindred over at Sweet Baby Inc. Apparently, Chris Kindred was involved in some capacity making this game. And the dialogue, they claim that this game is it's going to teach you history, right? What they don't tell you is, early on in the game, I was watching Kata play part of this game earlier today. They want to talk about this artifact from the Kingdom of Dahomey. Do you guys know the whole thing about the Kingdom of Dahomey, the tribe, the kingdom that they made the Woman King movie off of? They were responsible for roughly 30% of the transatlantic slave trade, slaves being moved around, okay? This kingdom was so wealthy and so powerful because they were deeply embedded in the slave trade. The English came to them and said, please, let us help you get rid of the slave trade. We want to abolish this. We want to get you guys out of the slave trade. And the king said, without this, we don't know who we are. This is what we do. This is how we make our money. This is how we live. Our children sing songs about enslaving people. Okay, that was their culture. And it wasn't until the French in the late 1890s came that they ended the slave trade in Dahomey. The only thing they tell you about Dahomey in this game is that the French took this artifact when they took over the governorship of Dahomey. That's it. That's the only thing they mention. All right. It's crazy. I have more followers on Twitter than they have players. Yeah. But Mario, the thing is, it's not a huge game. They probably didn't spend a whole lot of money on it. It's an indie game, but it has gotten a lot of media attention because of these factors that we're talking about. The fact that it's supposedly going to teach you about history, you know? Homie, you know, duh homie. It's this kingdom. Cabrera, I'm not sure if you're on Kick or Twitch. It didn't tell me, but hopefully you're not a bot. You're probably a bot. But if you're not, welcome in. Every time you say homie, I swear you're... Dude, homie, man. Yeah. It's going to be as dark as my Twitter profile picture pretty soon here. Media attention sounds sus. Media attention is always, man, the thing you got to watch for. Kissing the homies goodnight. Okay, so this is my point. This game has nothing to do with Highguard. Highguard doesn't have any virtue signaling that I noticed. Highguard doesn't have anything woke. Highguard, other than their community manager and a few of the developers, there's nothing about Highguard, about Wildlight Entertainment, that I would look at and go, oh, this is just a bunch of woke morons. No, it was just a bad game, right? What I want to know is, how did these artifacts get there in the museum in the first place? Well, the thing about it is, man, the thing about it is that they'll never tell you is that in most different parts of the world that are impoverished, that you could label as the third world, when there are museums that have artifacts that are being preserved, a lot of those are only around because some European came and took them and put them in a museum. Yeah, Lara Croft put them there. Otherwise, they would have been destroyed. You guys know the whole fighting between ISIS and the Taliban and all that shit that went on for like the last 30 years. Well, a lot of what would happen too that I noticed was when the ISIS would move in, they would go in and destroy like historical sites, museums, things that had like historical relevance to Afghanistan and all that. And it's like, okay, so you're destroying your own culture, right? Essentially. But yeah, so again, the entire point that I'm trying to make, people will virtue signal. They'll tell you you should love something, you should support something, you need to give this your time, your attention. You need to lie through your teeth and say something is amazing, even if they themselves aren't playing the game. Because again, it's virtue signaling. That's all it is. So we'll go into the individual tweets because the article is just basically a summarization of stuff that we already know. Currently sitting at 45% after the so-called review bombing for Highguard. 2,242 people in-game on Steam. It's not the game itself that's woke, but their company policies. They don't have anyone who could act as a leader. Yeah, no, my point is, it's not any more woke or less woke than any other AAA studio. That's more of the problem. Games will always act as soft power. CCP isn't funding their studios for no damn reason. That's why progressives keep burning so much money on it. Yeah, dude, for real. You basically win and take souvenirs and preserve them in museums. Yeah, see, I never really bothered with the whole Tomb Raider, Lara Croft type games. But it's like, yeah, if you want to look at Lara Croft in a negative light, you can say, well, colonizers stealing artifacts. But it's like, dude, those artifacts wouldn't be around without some colonizer coming and putting them in a museum. But yeah, no, you can't make a quality product when everyone's just nodding along. Exactly. You have to be willing to offend somebody. I mean, at least with Reloaded, I saw Philip Shan had a clip when he was streaming it, apparently, where there's an Asian character who's talking like, oh yeah, chop chop, long time, you know. Me no see you long time. And he's like, holy crap, this is the most racist game. And he's, of course, an Asian man sitting there watching this very stereotypical sounding Asian guy in the game. And it's like, yeah. So it's okay to make stereotypes, apparently, in these games. I mean, that's kind of based. Whatever, I'm cool with that. All right, but back to the original point. Highguard only having 2,242, only having a peak of 3,500 players in the last 24 hours. The game has been on a downward trajectory for a while, okay? And even when they did the 5v5 patches and all this other promotional stuff they tried pushing, it didn't seem to help. Indiana Jones says it belongs in a museum. Yep. Dude, thanks for the 2, buddy. Appreciate you. You know, honestly, Indiana Jones 1 and 3, I don't know what the hell happened with Temple of Doom. I know that there are people out there who love Temple of Doom. I'm not a Temple of Doom fan. I think the same people who love Temple of Doom are the same ones who say that Empire Strikes Back is like the best Star Wars movie. It's like, you like the one that's like not the typical feel good, fluff and la la kind of story, whereas The first and third movies are a lot more, I would say, feel good than the second ones in both Indiana Jones and Star Wars. Ghost of Tsushima as well. Everybody speaking with Chinese accent, like so racist, generalizing entire. Yeah, kind of. I could see that. Western studios are burning more money trying to appease these activist types. They changed Overwatch's character will likely cost upwards of 20 to 30,000. So I was going to make a follow-up video on the whole Overwatch thing. I figured the way I was looking at it after my live stream ended, and we were all pretty gracious and talking about the problems with the character, things that they could change to fix the character's face, go back to closer to the animation, not to do the whole Ozempic chic challenging beauty standards that the freaking voice actress was demanding, but to actually make all the fans happy. After that, I thought about it. I'm like, damn it, anyways, with the amount of heat that I was catching for having a normal, balanced, nuanced take, I was like, screw it. I'm just going to make a video and piss off all the Overwatch fans. I'll try to make it my most ratio video of all time, right? It just wasn't worth the time. I was too tired last night. Yeah, the AC Shadows thing was a Tencent funded humiliation project, possibly. It's crazy how they burn more money than a normal person will ever do. Hey, Geekazu. So, point about this game is despite the updates and the attempt at salvaging it, new character, new map, 5v5 mode, ranked 3v3, it's dead. The game is dead. The funny thing I saw, though, I know that Respawn Entertainment was not trolling Highguard. I know that. There's no way they would. EA, they would never go out of their way to intentionally plan something where they could troll another studio, especially a studio that was tangentially connected to their game. But it is weird timing that around the same time today that we were seeing announcements from Wildlight Entertainment, who hyped up Highguard as being from the makers of Titanfall and Apex Legends. Apex Legends dropped their newest little teaser for their next game mode they're doing, and it says, in case of emergency, break glass. And I'm like, wait a second. There's no way that this is a coincidence, right? There's just no way. There's got to be somebody planned the timing. When this thing dropped after Wildlight Entertainment announced that Highguard is basically on life support at this point, it's like, dude, this is either brilliant trolling or incredibly weird timing. But, so do we break the glass now? Or, yeah, I don't know, man. I just saw this. I'm like, that is really strange timing. So in the layoffs, we saw Josh Sobel saying, today I was laid off from Wildlight along with most of the staff. It was the best team I ever worked with, and I've never put so much of myself into a project before. See, this is, you go back to like Sven Vinke from over at Larian saying, don't criticize people too harshly, especially artists, because they're very sensitive. And if you criticize an artist too hard, they're never going to want to do art ever again because that's what they're passionate about. And if they feel like they're not any good at it, they're going to give up and they're just going to move on to something else. And I'm like, I get it. I get what he's saying. Artsy fartsy people are sensitive and they take all this criticism to heart. The problem is too many of them are too thin-skinned to the point where they can't listen to even hear constructive criticism. They think any criticism is like a personal attack because so many of them are just intrinsically like connected to what it is that they're working on, you know? So it was after, in all honesty, Ubisoft didn't do the Chinese Assassin's Creed any justice either. Was there a Chinese Assassin's Creed? Or is that still in development? I thought that they were still working on that. Says, I'm still spinning, won't be in a place to start thinking about the future for a while. Please keep me in mind if in the future you're looking for a senior or high-level rigger, CFX artist, etc. So he's located in Los Angeles. A lot of these other people are in Seattle. And then you've got Alex Grainer. This is the first one. Alex Grainer on LinkedIn was the first one that we actually found out about. He was a level designer at Wildlight, said, not the headline I wanted to be a part of, but unfortunately I was part of the layoffs at Wildlight today. The team was truly special and the thing I'm going to miss most. I'm sad about all the awesome stuff we had cooking up for future content. Hope to cross paths again, team. Again, it's not one of those things where I want to gloat for any normal person who just did their job and, you know, now they've had to move on and do something else. This chick, Alex Frostwolf, I am not going to be mourning her loss at all. She can go put the fries straight into the bag. Oh, man. I'm artsy fartsy and I don't care if people criticize my creations. If what I made sucks, tell me so I can get better. Yeah, dude, exactly. They want to screw off instead of getting their work done. Yeah, no, I agreed. It was Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. There's also India and another. Wait, what? That was a standalone Assassin's Creed game? I don't remember seeing anything from that one. But Alex Frostwolf, community manager for Wildlight Entertainment, said, I joined my incredible Wildlight teammates in having been laid off. A lot of irony in that statement. I joined my incredible team whose game came out 16 days ago and we all lost our jobs. Again, not laughing at the people who are decent, hardworking individuals, but the statement in itself, it's like, these people are so incredible that we spent 4 years and probably $100 million making it something that was so abysmally, aggressively mid that not even the people who played it, who never would have played it otherwise, simply because to troll, wanted to play it. Look, the most people playing Relooted today, hell, just between people that I know, Savvy, Kata, Vera, all three of them were playing the game. That's 3 people playing the game. I guess Vera played it yesterday. They were playing the game Relooted out of the 40 some odd people that were playing it total. Okay? If we're the only ones playing it, then your game can't be that good, right? We got laid off. We suck. Hurrah. Oh, it was a small Assassin's Creed 2D game. Okay. Got it. Highguard is the story of us, a group of talented, like-minded folks on an adventure into the unknown. Much like our wardens who get back up after losing a fight, we too will rise again for our next adventures. Let me ask you guys a question. Not that community manager is that important of a job. I mean, if I'm being honest, most of these people, their job is to run the social media accounts. And in the case of like Margaret Crone, I think her name was, over at Intrepid with Ashes of Creation, their job is to answer, the Q&A stuff with the fans, do the live streams, those kind of things. With this job, if your community manager is fired, if they're gone, that means you have no community. That means you have nobody to keep the community in touch with the developers. That means essentially you have given up. Because there's one thing to say, we need people who are going to keep the game going, the live service stuff, maybe some cosmetics, keep the things pumping, keep the servers running smoothly, the developer, the engineer type things. But if you're saying we don't even need our community manager because we have no community, then this game is dead. They're essentially saying, yeah, we don't have a community to maintain, Much like the wardens who get back up, we too will rise again. Highguard too. I don't think there's much risk of that happening, Korean Cowboy. I really don't. Hang on a second, guys. Didn't we discussed this before, right? And aren't some people from Firewalk, the studio that made Concord, didn't they go to Wildlight? Or am I thinking of Bungie? I know that some of them went to Bungie to work on Marathon. And oh my God, Marathon. I am starting to question, to doubt myself. When I said Marathon will hit 100,000 players on Steam when it first launches, I'm now starting to think that I overestimated. I said that freaking Highguard, because it was free to play and all the buzz around it, both positive and negative, I said Highguard would hit 250 on Steam, and it didn't even hit 100. So for Marathon at $40 to hit 100,000 players for a concurrent on Steam, I'm starting to get a little worried. I might be estimating some things here. Yeah, they got laid off for creating a bad product, Some did go to Bungie. Oh, man. Community managers have zero purpose. Most only act as a voice for a team that doesn't listen. Community managers are hired just to make the community feel like they're listened to. You didn't pick up on this news? Yeah, this one wasn't being talked about as much. This chick, like I said, she can go put the fries straight into the bag. I said maybe your next job will be more suited to your skill set, perhaps games journalism or McDonald's. And then, of course, some of her greatest hits. This isn't even all of them. Hey gamers, gentle reminder, when playing with women, just like anyone else, if they don't ask you for your advice or help on how to play, you don't need to give it. We got it, promise. Okay, love you, bye. To the men in video games, thank you, but I don't need to know how to play my class, the instance I'm in, or the game I'm playing. I've got it. Can we normalize men painting their... Right about some of that? Like I said, Ashes of Creation, the community... She wasn't the community manager, she was the communications director, which I assume covers more than just community management. I think it was part of her job. She was massive. Like, her involvement was huge. Did stream? I don't know, man. I don't know. It unstuck. I can't do shit, man. I can't do anything with my stream with my internet. It's a cluster over here, man. The only paint on my nail will be black and applied with a hammer. Oh my god, I've been there. Not in a long time though. Oh man. All right, so this one here from Next Gen Player said more Highguard devs are coming forward saying they were recently laid off. You've got Jesse Y, senior software engineer, laid off from Wildlight Entertainment today. Absolute pleasure working with this team, but bittersweet as it is, I look forward to whatever's next in my journey. Alex Grainer, we already saw. Jeffrey Tucker, gameplay engineer. My journey at Wildlight was short but sweet. Unfortunately, I was impacted by today's layoffs. Still processing everything. 10 years of experience with gameplay engine and netcode. Worked at Blizzard, Moonshot, where else? And now Wildlight, okay. Jeffrey Garnett, principal sound designer. My position was impacted by the studio layoffs at Wildlight. I mean, guys, look, if all these people in development, we're not just talking about like the fluff, the human resource type crap. If all the people that are actually involved in the, I mean, look, sound designers and stuff, that means that there's not going to be any future updates, right? Yeah, community manager from the early 2000s versus now. The stream does not want men with painted nails. I mean, I've painted my nails before for Halloween, for dressing up and all that weird shit, but like not as a usual, like regular occurrence. Wildlight put out the actual statement themselves about 4:30 this afternoon. Today, we made an incredibly difficult decision to part ways with a number of our team members while keeping a core group of developers to continue, innovating on and supporting the game. We're proud of the team, talent, and the product we've created together. We're also grateful for players who gave the game a shot and those who continue to be part of our community. So remember, they recently, a couple days ago, released their 1-year game plan that had their updates, heroes, maps, game mode types, or whatever. That's all been planned out. So either they have enough people left over that they're just going to kind of like string this along and slow roll all these things and try to cut their losses by having as many players as they can consume as many microtransactions as they possibly can to put a few bucks in their pocket before they eventually pull the plug. Think about this. Are they going to give refunds to people that buy like microtransactions at this point now when they pull the plug? Absolutely not. They're not going to. That money's going to go straight into a toilet. Who in their right mind would start playing a game now that just laid off most of their developers and spend any money on microtransactions? It's insane. Nose ring is a legit warning. Exactly. Yep. I don't get why they have to talk about their sad story. Just move on. I mean, it's a commiserating pity party type thing. Hey, Joe Darkness. Normally it's HR the last ones to go. That's what I'm saying these days. They're useless. Most AAA dev teams don't want to hear what the community says because they're going to do what they want. It's why most new games suck. There's a lot of reasons why most new games suck. But I keep saying that, and it's like, there are still games that I've played that are newer, that are good. It's just the majority of what you get from the AAA, the quadruple A industry, as they like to call themselves now, is what the really crappy stuff is coming out of. Legacy Killa says, this doesn't make much sense. Highguard devs confirmed that they fired most of the dev team, but are retaining a core team to continue working on the game. Feels like they're delaying the inevitable. Let me see. This guy says more than likely a skeleton crew of gameplay and technical engineers to maintain the game until sunset. Legacy Kill said they produced a year's worth of content, probably will finish that, and I guess hope things click. Doesn't seem like a logical plan. Yeah, it is strange. It is a weird decision. Big Fry says, okay, I didn't see that we had an official statement. So a ton of folks laid off across social teams, environment artists, but a small team left to most likely push updates and content that have been in advance on the roadmap. Curious if this situation will cause an uptick in players. Absolutely not. It absolutely will not. I mean, think about it, guys. Let's look at the last week on this chart, okay? Even before the announcement today. This here was the most recent peak. New character, updates, updated game modes, whatever. Back on Saturday, this last weekend. 8,500 players. That was the peak. Since then, your peaks have dropped to 7,600. You got 6,100 there. You got 4,500 there, and it's continually going down. Okay, this is not a sign of a game that could somehow like go up on like an upward trajectory after, you know, a few good updates, a few good it's not going to happen. There's just no way. It's inconceivable to me, inconceivable that this could ever recover. I just don't see it being a possibility. Arranging the deck chairs. That's what it feels like, arranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. Senor Arado, what was there to work on? The game was DOA from the start. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, this is the thing. This is where it pisses me off. And I have no problem. People need to understand, just like the whole voice actress, Overwatch character changes, that kind of thing. While two things can be true, one of them being true doesn't invalidate the other. So you could think the game was great. You could think the game was fun. You could have enjoyed it. You could be one of those 2,000 to 3,000 people who's been playing it every day since launch. God bless you. That's great. That's wonderful. That's awesome. But the people, and you're going to see a bunch of them claiming that all 90,000 people, more than that now because the peak has dropped to 3,500 players on Steam. So 94,000 players that have stopped playing this game concurrently is simply because they all hated it, all wanted to troll, they were all preying on its downfall, that none of them actually wanted to play the game. I have a hard time buying that. You could say that maybe, I would say, hey, look, let's just take a huge lump and say, bam, 30,000 people only played this game out of the 97,000 that played it at peak to see how bad it was, played 15 minutes, left a negative review, take those out of consideration. That still leaves 60,000 other people that said, yeah, the game's not good. It's not for me. It's nothing better than what I already have. And truly, that's my biggest problem with the game. It doesn't excel in any area. Not a single one. Jeff, the Herald of End Times is still shilling. Oh my God. This is great. Yeah, Steam will give refunds to people who bought Ashes of Creation. I saw something about that. Yeah. So Jeff Keighley, finally today, you know, he's been getting dogged left and right over this, his pushing, his shilling for this game. He finally tweeted about it. A large part of the Wildlight Entertainment team that worked on Highguard has been laid off just 16 days after release. An unfortunate, brutal, and sad outcome for a game I enjoyed in early playtests. Jeff, they didn't have any playtests open. Hey, Mahendra, not much. We're just talking about Highguard. That's pretty much going to be the main part of the stream tonight. So this dude is so massively disconnected from the real world, from gamers, from what people actually care about, that he doesn't even want to admit that the game was flawed from the start. Well, I enjoyed it in early playtest. Guess who didn't get to playtest it? Everybody else. Nobody else outside of the studio or anybody that they hired playtested this game. You want to shadow drop the game? Great. You want to, promote the game at the Game Awards? You get the feedback from the trailer and you see, hey, people aren't excited about it. Put the game in beta and say, you know what, guys, we jumped the gun. We're going to do an open play test. We're going to do an open beta. We're going to let this game cook for a few months. We're going to refine some things and then we'll drop it in the summertime. I don't know, something. Jeff got this money, so he should shut himself up. Jeff, you have bad taste? Dude, yeah. Release the assets on the Unreal Asset Store. Game made me want to play Titanfall 2. Dude, for real. And I recommend it. If you have Titanfall 2, go back and play it. It's still awesome. It's still great. If they're short matches, if you're just playing whatever game mode multiplayer has, or the campaign's still awesome. But yes, should have been a beta. So, of course, here's the crazy thing. I'm not going to say that Jeff Keighley bots his posts. But no matter how many times Jeff Keighley has been raked over the coals, this man has never been ratioed. I don't understand it. How does anybody actually like Jeff Keighley? I don't understand. So he posted this 6:30. So what, 3 hours ago now? A little over 3 hours ago. 10,000 likes. The top tweet that says tweets like this don't help, dude. Jeff Keighley in 40 hours will be accepting your apologies, right? Kata here's got 2,000. Another guy's got 881. 759, 657. My Kermit meme. I don't know why people show this one on their streams. I'm not going to show this one. Kermit jacking off. Like, no. You know, people are just dogging him, right? But he somehow, Jeff is the only man on Twitter that I've never seen get ratioed. Maybe it's happened and I've just never seen it. I swear to God, he must bought his post or something. Oh, Mahendra, we covered that on Monday. Fun fact: if you can see the dislike counter on YouTube, go back to Monday's stream and look at the like to dislike ratio and look at the comments. People who didn't watch the stream were shitting all over me for my take on the whole Overwatch situation, even though I agreed with them that, again, if you don't like the design of the character because it didn't match the original animation, they could definitely change that to make it fit. You know, they could fix that. But it's the desire by the voice actress to challenge beauty standards that I said is bullshit. One does not ratio, Jeff. Too many yes men at the company. That's the way it all seems, man. All the mechanics they crammed into the game separated into game modes. The main issue I would say that Highguard has is that they have one basic match type. Okay, every successful multiplayer game, every one of them, whether, you know, live service, couch co-op, whatever, every single multiplayer game that has been massively successful over the years that doesn't rely on also having a campaign has multiple multiplayer match mode types, right? Team deathmatch, capture the flag, capture the point, attrition, warfront, or, push, control, hold, whatever. Every one of them, they give you multiple options of how to play the game. Highguard gave you one. Big map, each have a base, 3 players on each team, no NPCs. It was a terrible idea. It was poorly executed. I mean, it was executed fine as far as the quality of what you had in front of you. Played fine, guns were fine, characters were fine, abilities were fine, everything looked fine. That was it. Nobody should challenge the beauty standard by doing the complete opposite of it. Yeah. Powerful people have a huge amount of bootlickers. I get that, but like, damn, the amount of people who just kiss this guy's ass, I swear. So, of course, in the quote tweets, everybody's just kind of like roasting the hell out of him. Andy Worski saying, "You need to apologize to us." I think they slighted Jeff, so he killed their entire studio. I don't know. I don't think it was intentional. I don't think it was deliberate. Okay, you got very AFK Cromwell from over at Larian. I don't know his exact job at Larian. I know he's pretty integral over there. I can't remember how to freaking say the word. Just add sexy and big boob characters in Highguard. No, dude, that wouldn't fix it. Because they have characters who aren't ugly. That Scarlet chick is good looking. I mean, she's nice to look at. It's not a matter of them needing jiggle physics. Going First Descendant wouldn't fix that game. Going First Descendant didn't fix First Descendant, you know? They could have had NPCs to flesh out. I mean, dude, having anything else on the map at any point, it's a fantasy or first-person shooter. Have little goblin guys running around or something. Have animals. Have something else on the map that you can shoot. Integral. Thank you, Trollax Thrower. Why can't I think how to say the word? Integral. Integral. There we go. Characters are fine outside of that one. Which one are we talking about? I see the comments now. You managed to aggro the people who don't like that very Asian hero in Overwatch has the same face. No wonder they're pissed about your take. But see, Avernum, they didn't even watch the stream. Okay? They didn't watch the stream. None of us in the stream said, oh, they just need to shut up and stop complaining, and this character is great, and it's way better. I mean, in my personal opinion, the character design looked better afterwards, because I think the character in the animation, they were going for that transgender look. It had a really weird nose and big and muscular and stuff. But if you want to make the character slightly more like the animation, I'm like, sure, go for it. That makes sense, I guess. I mean, you want it to match the way it's supposed to look. She should look a little bit older. She's the older sister. A little more battle-hardened. Okay, cool, whatever. A little more slanted eyes, not quite so round and googly, whatever. Those are all things that I can make concessions on. I'm not going to make a concession on the voice actress being a complete freaking libtard. That's not something I'm going to do, you know? Still play the first sentence sometimes? Is it any better? They tried to be a MOBA, deathmatch, looter shooter, and tower defense all at the same time. None of them worked. If they had done those in different game modes, things could have been different. Okay, so you have a base defense mode. Easy. All right, you've got one that's a team death mode. Make a smaller map. Yeah, Lawbreaker game who was just an Overwatch clone, exactly. The masked one that's supposed to be a chick. Which I gotta scroll back up Equilibrium. I'm not sure what we're talking about here. I got sidetracked. First Descendant's still live. It's true, but how many people are currently playing First Descendant on Steam? Like, what's the 24-hour peak? 3,000 people? What happened to not needing a lot of players? That's a great question. So, this guy from Larian said, the Highguard layoffs, like many others, are a sad reminder of the economic instability of an industry that asks the world, but promises little. That said, blaming one man for showing a trailer on his telly show is a sophomoric take that shows little understanding of industry. I partly agree with him, because I think people, as much as it is as beautiful and as fun and as joyous as it is to kick Jeff Keighley while he's down, to troll him, to crap all over him, as fun as that is, because he's pretty insufferable, I'm not going to put the blame squarely on Jeff Keighley, because the developers could have said no. They didn't have to make the trailer. They could have made a better trailer. They could have said our game's not ready. They could have put the trailer and said that, okay, our game's going to launch in beta in 3 months. They could have done anything with that spot. You have free advertising. You've got the world looking at it, and you'd have to decide at that moment what the best option is. They're the ones who made the wrong choice, The First Senate makes bikinis and devs for money. So Infernus, I'm not saying that they're not making money. I'm saying that objectively, most people, when you look at the drop-off for the player count, most people aren't enjoying the game because most people left the game. The game could still be printing money. Like, if it's Nexon that makes First Senate, right? Pretty sure it's Nexon, I can't remember. If they're printing money and they're stable and they're happy with it, then they have no reason to do anything different. I'm saying as far as the vast majority of people, though, when it came to First Descendant, it was a massive, what was it, like a couple 100,000 players at peak or some crazy number, whatever it was, when that game first took off. And then it just petered out, Cliff should have stayed on Epic. Oh, Una. I forgot about Una. Yeah, Una was the voice actress from Horizon on Apex Legends, and Horizon's a nice character. Actually, I liked Horizon. The Scottish chick, the scientist, she actually has pretty cool abilities on Apex Legends. Didn't hate that character. But Una's god-awful. Looks like a man. Still playing Genshin because the content, missing that from Highguard. Yeah, the voice actress being a retard's not a surprise. Voice actors quite often are pretty weird, retarded people, If they added bikinis for the girls and spicy emotes, it would survive. I mean, I'd play it. Infernus, the thing is, that would gain maybe a few thousand people. But again, if they don't have the financial stability of a company like Nexon, it still might not be enough. And to be honest, I think that there's so much more to offer with like modding in the modding scene online that just giving people cosmetics. I mean, if you're talking about free, then maybe. But if it's like paid cosmetics, I don't know. Bikini for the horses. Oh yeah, voice actors from anime dude, honestly, I know I've seen some of that before. It's crazy. So First Senate has 5,300 players with a 24-hour peak of just over 8,000. Oh, that's better numbers than I've seen a year ago when their numbers really started dwindling. I want to say that at some points it got down to about 3,000 players on Steam. Beta could have saved the game. Would have bought the game another month or so. Yeah, dude, they had no reason to have to put it out there so early. Unless they were an independently published... Here's the thing about Wildlight that I do want to cut them a little bit of slack. They were an indie developer and they published their own game. So they didn't, as far as I understand, unless they had an investing board or whatever, however that shit works, they were not beholden to some, corporation that like a Ubisoft that said, you have 6 months and this game must release no matter what condition it's in. I'm just thinking about the whole disaster with Cyberpunk when it launched. You had the developers saying it's not ready. You had the playtesters lying to them, and then you had the board saying, "Too bad, game's got to go." So, modding communities peak, exactly, yeah. So, retarded but fun shit would have sold like hotcakes, probably to a certain degree, yeah. But then again, you also have to look at the game also has to be good too. So it's this blend. There has to be that happy balance of good gameplay, enjoyable cosmetics, graphics, gameplay mode, the whole thing. And the biggest problem with Highguard is the repetitive gameplay loop, guys. I'm telling you. So Legendary Drop said nothing to do with Jeff, everything to do with the game. The sub 1 hour reviews say it all. Outside of obvious trolling, and again, I'm going to tell you, there are anybody who played Highguard for 5 or 10 minutes and left a negative review, that is a valid review. That is a valid review because anybody is allowed to say anything they want to about any product or anything that they've spent their time on because that's their opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, right? You don't have to take it seriously, you don't have to respect it, but you have to allow them to have it. You can't just throw it out because you don't like it, okay? The thing is, it wasn't just players that played 5 minutes, left a negative review, and that was it. You had a 90,000 player drop off within the first couple of days. That's massive. That's beyond just trolling. Okay, I played the game for 3.5 hours. I didn't have to, but I wanted to make sure that I was giving it at least a fair shot, you know? Dubs or so I don't know, man. I always assumed it would be the English dub voice actors or the localizers, the ones actually doing the subtitles and stuff, the translations and all that too. The voice actor for Kumoko, she embraced the cocaine spider foam. Oh man, I don't know what that means. I don't think I want to. Says there's a lesson to learn from a game that lost over 90% of its players in one day. It showed that there was interest, but the game had absurdly bad retention. Another guy said, I feel like Highguard was a victim of toxic positivity. I remember an old interview with Jason Jones during Halo 2 about being your own worst critic. If everyone agrees you're making the next great thing, you absolutely aren't. Be your own worst critic. To which the guy from Larian responds here, I don't think toxic positivity applies in what feels like a fever dream of a 2-week window or whatever it was. I don't know what he means by that. I don't think English is his first language, so I think we're getting a little bit of misinterpretations, if you will. Oh, Mari, the drop-off is huge, okay? The peak was 97, I know I'm kind of blocking with the chat, 97,249 people checked this game out the day it launched, okay? Now, for context, I didn't actually play Highguard for myself until 2 days after launch, so I wasn't even in the mix of this 97,000 people. The game actually, you know, people were playing it days after. People like us, the chuds, the mean bigot incel, you know, right-wing, evil, racist, Nazi bigots, we played it for multiple days. I played it when it was only 3v3, and then I played it the weekend that they had 5v5. And I wanted to give it a fair shot. The one game from Hires, the sci-fi Battlefield game, forgot the name of the game. No, someone else might remember it, though. That's a great profile picture, by the way. If anyone thinks of the name, though, let me know. We could always look it up. All right, so we're getting into some of the more impressive cope. Oh, Tribes. Is that the one you're thinking of? I'm wondering if Tribes is the one that I'm thinking of. There have been some interesting PvE type extraction games in the past. Of course, the one I'm thinking of might not have been an extraction game. It was a survival, more like Rust. This guy here, some big shot, 53,000 followers, pro Apex Legends player, plays esports and whatnot. You know he's cool because he's got a cigar and a light beer in his profile picture. So, yet Looted wishes it had Highguard's number. Come on, Looted, it's got like 12 people playing it right now. That's pretty good, man. This guy, Zach Mazer, says, feel so bad for this team. Review bombed by over 14,000 reviews with less than 15 minutes playtime within 24 hours of release. To be clear, one game is 8 to 35 minutes. Okay, can I stop you right there, buddy? on a 3v3 map, one game alone taking 35 minutes is part of the freaking problem. Okay? I said that day one. When I was watching, I think it was Atreus and Kata play it, and I'm like, I was looking online, I was looking at people talking about it, I'm like, one match could take 35 to 40 minutes for 6 people? That's insane. That's not sustainable. You know, you can't do that. Oh, it is Tribes? I'll have to look it up in a minute. Hey, QC Jerks. Never heard of that guy. Well, he's got 53,000 followers on Twitter, so he's probably got a few 100,000 on Twitch, which means he's probably important for some weird reason. Outside of the FPS/optimization issues, the hate it got was unreal. I said the only thing worse than this shit take is drinking light beer. Okay, you got can't blame the customer if they don't like the food. What do you do when the customer says your food sucks and never tried it? Customer only has to take one bite of a meal to know they won't like the rest of it. This guy says, in this case, a lot of them didn't even take a bite. They were told it was served fresh, but instead they were served someone else's leftovers. You're an effing idiot if you think review bombing works. The game didn't have poll. Just ask the 13,000 people who stopped playing it in the last week who ignored the reviews. Okay, perfect example. Why has the game dropped from a... Let me see here. Let's go back to the Steam charts here. All right. Let's go max. The game, week after launch, still had a peak of 15,000 players. Okay. Game suck period. Yeah. I played Hell Let Loose, game that was over 2 hours. Yes, but the thing about Hell Let Loose, how many people are on the map? 100, right? I'm not saying the time is unsustainable for gamers, for people who are going to be invested in it. I'm talking about from their standpoint. If you're hosting servers and running matches and trying to matchmake, and you've got 6 people isolated in their own match, occupying 30, 40 minutes of time, that's my point. That's why I said you need more players on the map. More things happening within that map because you have to maximize the amount of players you can get into each map at one time to keep the player base going, to keep the player count high. Versus Hell Let Loose, which, by the way, fantastic game, I need to get back into it, has a match that's 50 versus 50 or whatever the number is. It feels like it's like 100 people at one time, right? I can't remember what the total number is on a server. I think it's 100 people. I could be wrong. I know that I think Chivalry 2, the most you can play is, I think, 64 on a map, but that's still 64 versus 6 on Highguard. That's my point. Yeah, I'm not saying that, oh, well, that's just, it's too long for a match. Oh, no, I've played matches of games that will drag on for over an hour. No, Hell Let Loose, my God. If I was a professional streamer, professional gamer, right, MLG, and I was going to pick one game to stream for an entire day, oh my God, it would be Hell Let Loose. Because that game, if you can just set aside a few hours and really get into it, fantastic game. Love it. It's a game of attrition, strategic teamwork. You can have pockets of people fighting everywhere on that. Dude, Hell Let Loose is so good. It's such a great game. Maybe they threw in the towel because Overwatch dropped the 2 from... I don't think that's the only reason. Armor Forger has games that went on for 15. I mean, dude, yeah, there are some games that are hardcore that you have to set aside and dedicate a lot of time for. And I'm not saying that people won't do it. I'm saying you have 6 people on a map. You lose one person, that throws the entire game. 3v3, it's crazy, man. Game needs to be Battlefield instead of Apex. Yeah, and even Apex Legends, Team Deathmatch has 2 teams of 9. 2 teams of 9, 2 teams of 6. 2 teams of 9, 3 squads. No, Team Deathmatch has 2 teams of 3, so 6v6. Big TDM, when they do that mode, is 75 kills, 9v9, so 3 teams of 3 on each side. So the least you have in a match, unless you're talking about arenas on Apex Legends, which I think is 3v3. That's the smallest it gets, but it's also a smaller map, and the matches go a lot faster because it's simply kill the other team. So yeah, whoever thought raid, base, battle, looting, shooter, crafting, resource gathering, riding on horses, more looting, raid basing, oh, and it's going to take 40 minutes for 6 people total? It's just insane. But yeah, that's what I want to know. Where did these 10,000 people disappear to? Okay? If the game is so good, me love you long time, okay? You lost half your players in 1 week. Saturday, January 31st, 15,000 player peak. Saturday 7th, February 7th, 8,500 player peak. Where'd they all go? They're not the ones that were review bombing the game. They're not the ones, they didn't stop playing it because people hated the game, because other people told them the game sucks. These people are playing the game if they like the game. And these people got to this point and they said, yeah, the game's boring. We also got to ask where they get this money from. Yeah, investors, I don't know. It's a good question. You always could wonder about that and go down the rabbit hole of where did the funding come from. But yeah, this guy pointing out that you have 13,000 people who stopped playing it in the last week. It's crazy. Game wasn't finished. Should have delayed it a year. Undercooked and learning a lesson. Maybe don't make a slop game. It's that simple. They bet it all on a stealth launch and the game was boring. You can feel bad for them, but it was a bad bet. Maybe you should have asked people outside of a bubble to see if there was any interest. You can feel bad, but it's self-inflicted. You know? You do know that working in video games is the most volatile industry outside of tech. It's also the most rewarding. Every day a dev goes under, they'll be scooped up by another team. Yeah, a lot of them. We've seen a lot of them. Less than 15 minutes, the tutorial lasts about that long. They didn't even play the game. Guess what? The tutorial sucked ass. Okay. The tutorial was enough to make me uninstall. Didn't leave a review, though. The tutorial was god-awful. Way too long, and it overcomplicated a very simple gameplay pattern. That gameplay pattern, I watched, I listened, I read about it online, and I didn't need to do the tutorial to know how to play the game. It was not complicated. I'll remember Gigantic. Sounds familiar. Light of Materium is canceled. Thanks, Sony. Wait, it's canceled for sure? I know that we've been kind of wondering about that because it's just got pulled off of Steam and Epic, but it's actually gone, like done? That's crazy. The mining would have... Hey, Algo Solar, the mining would have been fine if it wasn't in a first-person shooter. The mining timing mechanics and stuff, I'm like, I've done this kind of stuff in crafting games. That's cool. That's whatever. Why is it in a first-person shooter? Like, that... They did parts of it decent if it was in a different game. You know? Everyone I watched that went through the tutorial thought always shot the... Dude, yeah, I wanted to shoot my... In Minecraft. Wanted to shoot myself in Minecraft. Playing that game. Playing the tutorial. Okay, so Decembro quote tweeted this guy and said, I'm not one of those people, but it's funny how I actually relate. Okay, Decembro, buddy, I love you. But just like his videos are 45 minutes long, and if it's a short video, it's like 30, his tweets are some of the longest tweets I have ever seen in my life. He said, this is exactly how I felt around 15 minutes into a match. As soon as I took to the field and meandered around digging crystals out of the floor and collecting armor, I was already feeling like this wasn't for me. Then we get into the first PvP part of the match where the shield breaker drops and everyone rushes to get it. I get into some fights, I'm feeling better, enemy gets the sword, they rush to our base, start their attack, we successfully defend, things are feeling alright, and then bam. Sharp drop. The match resets and you're back fortifying walls with your homies and then out collecting effing crystals and loot, because if you don't rush the enemy instead, you're going to be artificially cucked by the game for having white guns and white armor instead of blue, purple, or yellow. So off I go again, cosplaying as a Minecraft miner for a few more minutes, waiting for the game to spawn the shield breaker again. Rinse and repeat 1 or 2 more times until one team wins. I didn't even want to play more. I merely did it to not be labeled like this by people like this. Exactly the reason I played it. I gave it a solid chance while gathering video footage along the way. I understand very well how gamers operate. I know we like to be assholes sometimes. I know dunking on games exist. But facts are facts. If this game was actually good, none of it would matter. Those people that played it would have stuck around. I mean, Jesus, it was free after all. If there's something we enjoy and are severely lacking in the big AAA space, it's good games. Ain't nobody going to be writing a negative review and abandoning an effing game they enjoyed. Also true. Okay? Also very true. And ain't nobody going to be ignoring a game that genuinely looks appealing to them when it's free. If I played Highguard and I'm like, wait a second, this game slaps. This game is scratching an itch that I haven't had scratched in a long time. Oh my God, this game's better than Apex Legends, which I hate the game Apex Legends. I loved it when it came out. I hated it recently with all the updates, all the gay crap, all the guns, the recoil patterns, everything changing. The maps look like crap now. It looks like Fortnite. I play it with my kids and I still find the game, damn it anyways, it draws you in. It's still an amazing first-person shooter. I hate it, but I still respect it. You know, I still get it. This game never did that for me. I wish more good games came out each new release. I know. After the woke mess of Zero Dawn 2, I don't trust Sony with anything. You get a sense, since you're a veteran of the genre, right? You understand what works and what doesn't, what what scratches that itch. You got to understand it. And this game didn't do any of that right away. It didn't have anything going for it. Nick Pro Reborn says, I rode a horse across an ungodly large landscape and was presented with like 10 different building ability, upgrade, and weapon systems. Then I remembered there's only 5 other people in the game, got bored of the usual hero slop, and went back to playing modded New Vegas. Marathon was free and I tried it and it clicked, I'd play it. Dude, QC Jerks, exactly. I have been dogging on Marathon, and the more that I see coming out from Marathon, the more I want to dog it because I hate the look of the game. I think it's all artificial hype. I think there's a lot of people who are sucking up to that game because it's Bungie, because they're Destiny fans, and they feel like they want redemption for how bad Destiny 2 got. And they want it to be better than Arc Raiders, and it won't be. They want it to sell more copies than Arc Raiders, and it won't. And a lot of them are simply Sony PlayStation fanboys. And it's like, look, I don't care what magical box you play your video games on. Don't give something a pass simply because it's on your preferred console. No, I got you, Mari. Sony better bring back headquarters to Japan from California. They won't. Sony has abandoned Japan. They simply have. Too many ponies shill for the game. That's exactly how they will be for every Sony. I mean, look, they're calling that 1348 ex-Voto game with the lesbian knight with the terrible haircut. They're calling that a Sony exclusive, despite the fact that it's launching alongside on Steam the day it launches. It's not a Sony exclusive. It's just not on Xbox. Okay. Marathon's pure cope true, but also that first trailer though, dude. The first trailer was awful. I really wanted to play the beta for Marathon. I didn't get into the playtest or whatever it was. But people that did, they said, this thing's garbage, man. It's just boring. It's repetitive. It's a lot of what we heard about Highguard when Highguard should have had a playtest, right? Look at Sony sales in Japan. They suck. People don't realize this, but it's not just Xbox that doesn't sell in Japan. PS5 doesn't sell either. Sony left Japan for a reason. Yeah, it's possible. It could be a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I know that Sony definitely, they looked at America and said, hey, bigger audience over there, bigger target audience. You would have thought they would have pulled a Nintendo and tried to get both market shares. I mean, Nintendo's huge in both countries. But, I mean, Sony's obviously doing what they think is going to make them the most money. I despise the whole exclusivity thing. People making excuses for a bad product simply because it's got a name attached to it, I don't want to do. Here's a plan. Try making single-player AAA first-person shooter games. And people don't like to hear it. But single-player games are still insanely popular. Still insanely profitable. There's a lot of single-player games that come out every year that do exceptionally well. Another guy here, Hope, the Ghost of Hope says, stop trying to make hero shooters. God, that isn't the truth right there. Yeah, I saw that about the Conservative Party. That's crazy. Over in Japan, they beat the crap out of the commies. Yeah, they don't care about the game. They just want to brag about exclusivity. That's the problem with the console warriors. It's just about, oh yeah, think about it. I've seen so many tweets about the Horizon, Zero Dawn, Horizon, whatever the hell all the names of those games are, about how people hate on these games, but they're some of the best games ever, and they've sold 40 million copies. I'm like, I don't know anybody who hates on the Horizon franchise. I know people say the sequel was a letdown, but cool. So you have a franchise that nobody outside of the PlayStation fan base cares about. I don't think nothing about Horizon keeps me up at night. I don't hate it, don't love it. I don't think about it at all. Like there's no thought in my mind ever about the Horizon franchise. That's why people who saw this Horizon Hunter's Gathering multiplayer game come out and they're like, people have always hated Horizon. I don't think about you at all. Like not ever. Hey, Susano. Voted 1 year, even though I saw a report claiming they lied off a bulk of the staff for that game. Yeah, it's God, it's so, dude, their 1 year roadmap that they rolled out. The question is, are they trying to string people along long enough to keep that roadmap active to actually get all those updates rolled out so that they can nickel and dime people and try to like get some sort of revenue source? Because obviously, look, if Highguard shuts down completely, if it's a free-to-play game, they're relying on revenue from microtransactions. Nobody's making a dime unless people buy cosmetics, right? If they are desperately trying to get as much in the way of microtransactions as they can from an audience that's disappearing, there's no way that that 1 year roadmap is going to make a difference. It's not going to survive. You're never going to see what it looks like at 6 months because it won't make it 3 months, you know? Yeah, Mari, a lot of people have said that. And a lot of people have said that too about the sequel, that they made her, they focused more on like the hyper realistic graphics. Like, oh, now you can see Aloy or Al, whatever the hell her name is. Aloy's like peach fuzz on her face. And it's like, nobody cares. Why don't you just make her look nice and go from there? I don't know. Yeah, Amanda, your talent is peaceful life. Exactly. Hey, I love multiplayer games, guys. Most of what I play is multiplayer games. Now, the ones I have the most time invested in, you could probably say, are single player titles like Elden Ring. Valheim I play by myself, even though it's technically multiplayer. Obviously, like the Legend of Zelda type games. Those games I've sunk hundreds of hours into. But in the last couple of years, the things I play the most are multiplayer. So even then, it's like I have a healthy respect for both. If it's a fantastic single player title, I'm going to play it, you know? Hey, Empress, good morning. The Nikocado avocado thing, that's the one, man. That's what I always think of. That is what I always think of when I hear of Horizon. Nick Polom, is this the dude that's like a Hassan Glazer that was part of OTK back in the day? I think it is. Am I crazy? Maybe it's somebody else. NMP LOL. I think it's that guy. Says, I genuinely don't know why people don't play this game. I'm Masters ranked and have a ton of fun. What turned you off to the game? Help me understand. This guy here actually has a screenshot, and this is perfect. I'll read it for you since you guys can't see the whole thing. Dead game vibes. Sub 3,000 players equals eternal queues. No matches outside peak NA/EU hours. Layoffs mean no updates. Balancing our content, it's effectively abandoned. Not fun core loop. Downtime is heavy. Unbalanced for solos. Feels half-baked despite solid gunplay moments. Better alternatives. Apex, Overwatch 2, Valorant exists. I think Valorant sucks, but that's just me. Burned by launch. Tech woes plus hype equals mass refunds or uninstalls. Greater than 1 hour playtime reviews dominate negatives. No longevity. Limited content plus no dev equals zero reason to invest time or money. Some fans call it fun post patches and blame review bombing hype, but the data shows. Yeah, I mean, obviously this is an AI summary of it, but I think that kind of hits the nail on the head. And why? Who is now going to invest their time into a free-to-play game to the point where they're going to feel compelled to spend money, knowing that that money is going to just be basically going down a toilet, because in a few months when they pull the game offline, you're not getting a refund for those skins that you purchased, you know? Relooted, oh my god. Empress, drink lots of coffee. Lots of coffee. And then maybe hit yourself in the head with a hammer. Not too hard, just enough to kind of get like disoriented. Because that game is the most boring, mindless, pointless garbage that I've ever watched. Okay? Dustborn is more interesting than Relooted. Because Dustborn is at least cringy and you look at it and you shake your head and you go, oh my god, I can't believe what I'm playing. Relooted is just beyond boring. It's just there. And it's not even it's not interesting, it's not cringe, it's just stupid. Nick is professional, not understander. Oh, okay, there you go. Play Amalur instead. I mean, dude, I think anything's better than Relooted. It's just so... I tried the demo last year, and I wanted to scream at how boring it was. Oh, Susano, it is just so damn boring. It holds your hand the entire time. It's one mission of run, plan your thievery, you steal your item, you run, you get away, and then it's like wandering around talking to random NPCs in really horrible, cringy dialogues. It's just terrible, man. It's awful. You got the game gifted for the jokes. I have it for free on Game Pass if I wanted, and I still won't touch it. I refuse. I'm not streaming it. I'm not playing it. I don't care. Way too many people defending bad or mid game, saying I don't understand, they hate negativity. Dude, that was part of why I wanted to stream tonight. It's like, I don't have the mental capacity to make a video right now, but I can sit here and bitch about it. Kingard saying 16 days. This is what happens when games journalists and contrarians are too busy hyping you up to actually play the game. Oh, somebody mentioned this earlier in the stream. Veridark says Highguard doesn't need, quote, super huge player counts in order to be successful, is what they said at release. Some speculated the budget was small so it could stay afloat. I guess that wasn't the case. Yeah, this was an actual headline. Highguard boss says player count irrelevant as game loses 90% of active audience. The Highguard devs just want a dedicated player base. Such a stupid thing. Such a large, hefty helping of cope for a game that relies on microtransactions. Yeah, I know the state of play is tomorrow. I'm not going to be streaming it because I'll be at work when that's on, but I'll either tune in to Vera or somebody else who's streaming it. They're like, be kind to the new shiny thing I'll forget about in a week. I go back to this, man. All the people online defending the game, saying it's haters, it's, review bombing, it's people who just wanted to play the game and then shit on it. Where are they now? Look, when I played Arc Raiders, when it first came out, it was the only thing I touched for a month. It took me so long after moving to get back into making videos, partly because I was so exhausted, still getting settled in here, work and life and Christmas and holidays and stuff. But the other half of it, I was just having too much fun playing Arc Raiders. There were those nights where I'm like, I've been at work, I've been out, I'm tired, the kids are in bed, I'm just going to play a game for 3 hours. I just wanted to veg and not think about anything. And, that didn't happen with this game. This game's been out for 16 days, and where are those people who are just losing track of time playing this game? Game peaked after launch at 15,000 players a couple weeks ago, and those people have disappeared. So clearly it's not just haters. It's not just haters. Anyone who says that is full of shit. Boss not caring about player count screams tax write-off to me, especially 90% loss. It's just stupid, man. Yeah, Reloaded had 57 players yesterday. When I played the demo, I was one of the, 30 people that played it. I'm not even kidding. It was the numbers were abysmal. They were brutal. Do they have anything to show? Marathon. For all of you out there who think Marathon's going to be the second coming of Master Chief or Destiny or whatever the hell you think it's going to be, Marathon is going to be at the State of Play tomorrow. Because remember, Marathon comes out in 1 month. And so there's supposedly going to be a lot of information about Marathon. I'm curious to see. I don't know. Professional virtue signaler, or we call it a dick rider. Yeah, there's a lot of those. I saw Geekazu had a comment, probably some new lesbian game. Yeah, man, that's what they have. Yeah, it's a legit problem if a free game can't get players. Not just can't get players, it's hard. It's hard to compete for people's attention, right? This is a problem, not just, that it's not just with video games. It's not something that is solely a video game industry issue. People have attention deficit disorder massively. We have a hard time, focusing, and there's so much constantly being thrown at you. Look, it's like every day I get on Twitter, every day I get online, I see a new game, and I see gameplay, right? And then in the back of my brain, I'm thinking, well, I've got 12 other games that I started that I never finished, 3 other games that are multiplayer live service games that I want to get back to playing, and maybe a dozen other things that I haven't even installed after purchasing them on sale. Now you're competing with that constant input of new game, and not even knowing if any of those are good. So when a game like this comes out in a crowded market and it doesn't seem to do anything differently, it's incredibly bold, I should say, of them to put out a game like this that didn't have any price tag attached to it. So they're solely hoping on positive word of mouth to get people to want to play the game, and then maybe some of those people will pay a few bucks for a skin that they think is worth the money. It's a bold move. Certainly it's a bold move. I'm not playing a game or buying a game made by real world thieves. Well, that's a lot of them, unfortunately. Dude, no, the amount of games that I have unfinished or half finished or... Okay, guys. Expedition 33, game of the year. Love it, hate it, I don't care. I think it's game of the year. I still haven't crossed the T and dotted the I on that game yet. I put in 30 plus hours, whatever it took to get through Acts 1 and 2. I'm basically at the end of Act 3. And that was before I moved in October. I have still not finished that game. All right. And it's as simple as maybe one night, instead of like playing Arc Raiders, if I'm not going to stream, if I'm not going to make a video, if I just want to play something, I'm just going to go and finish the game. It won't take that much. It's just, I don't know. Oh, you were talking about Bungie, but YouTube ate your comment. Of course it did. Why wouldn't it? You Cragfire, part of it is just positive word of mouth. Virality, right? You cannot underestimate the importance of, and I hate it because this is the world we live in, the algorithm, right? Algorithmic virality. Virality would be fertility, wouldn't it? Virality is I think what I'm thinking of. Anyways, the fact is, when something, for whatever reason, goes viral, your game better be good, because if it goes viral in front of a lot of eyes and nobody has anything nice to say about it, the game's dead. And you can't blame it. That's like saying, I made a bad product, but I could have done better and sold more if less people knew at the start that the game was bad. Versus, we put our game trailer out there and had all these millions of eyes watching the Game Awards on it, and the game wasn't ready yet, and it failed. So the game trailer killed our game. No, having a game that wasn't finished yet killed your game. Having more eyes on it just killed the game quicker, you know? The only game of the year for me that I'll never play. Love everything about it except the genre. Yeah, I mean, I don't play a lot of turn-based games anymore these days, but I have loved a lot of turn-based games. Gladius, Third Age, Final Fantasy, a lot of those games that were turn-based I really enjoyed. Third Age is one of the best turn-based games that I've played in a long time. We need more hours in a day. We do, because honestly, I live on caffeine, and it's probably going to kill me one day. So, Paris, professional ball washer. I think he's an Xbox guy. I can't remember. I know he's been on New Blackstreet before. He's industry shill. Friends with Danny Pena, who I can't stand. Danny Pena is a grifter, actual grifter. He's married to one of the women that was in Blackwall Gaming. They've got the whole consultancy firm, like a baby SBI thing going on between the two of them. But Paris here says this is industry. This is industry. Paris, proofread, man. You could have edited this at any point. This industry is effing brutal. Game wasn't for me, but was hoping they'd find some success and keep improving the experience. Game wasn't for me, but I hope they were successful. I have read that so many freaking times. Yeah, game didn't look like anything I wanted to play. I prefer this. I prefer that. I didn't want to play it for X, Y, or Z. Then why do you care? If everybody on the planet, if 8 billion people said the game's not for me, then why should any of them care if it succeeds? I don't understand this mentality that everything has to succeed in life. This is such a, like, dare I say, a modern take on business, on life. But his writing on this one is worse than mine. Paris, unfortunately, Susano, he has such like massive shill vibes. He refuses to call a spade most of the time. He tries to sugarcoat. He's not the worst, but he tries to sugarcoat too much. You know, true virtue signal right there. It's pathetic, man. Yeah, he's also part of Andy Cortez, Greg Miller from Kind of Funny, and those two dudes can go kick rocks. I swear to God. Two of the worst people on Twitter. And like I said, Danny Pena, I can't stand. Him and his wife are awful. Just, you know, I absolutely hate you, but I really hope you get all the blessings the world owed you.
Absolutely not. I like to be liked. I enjoy being liked.
Yo, Smeg! Dude, I gotta stop streaming because you keep sending 5 gifted memberships every time, and I'm starting to feel extremely guilty, so you gotta stop, man. You gotta cool it, okay? You gotta save your money in case you need to escape from that prison colony you call home. All right, hey Smeg, thank you for the 5 gifted. Appreciate you, buddy. And let me see if I got any clip here that I haven't played yet. This might be a good one. I don't know if it actually is going to work or not.
Oh, you know it, lad. You know that Hassan Piker. I'm coming to kill you in Los Angeles at your house. Or in the ring. No, in real life.
Hopefully the audio on that one was working. Live in Australia, not Seattle. Dude, my mom went up to Seattle today, okay? My almost 70-year-old mother Went up to the Seattle Seahawks parade thing. No, Mari, oh my god, how do we give Mari the like 30-second TLDR on the Ghost of Kiev? Oh my god. It's too much. He's a YouTuber slash comedian. He did this bit where he did a boxing match, a real life boxing match, but he was playing it like he was an actual Irish guy. Hassan Piker hates him. Okay, Hassan absolutely hates him. So his whole thing is Sam Hyde wants to fight Hassan Piker, and Hassan Piker's afraid to fight Sam Hyde. So the lore is way too deep. You're happy I gave you the Sam Hyde clip? Okay, perfect. Very nice. Yeah, Mari, if you ever have an unlimited amount of time, go down the rabbit hole of who Sam Hyde is, or at least who they say he is, and then watch his YouTube videos and stuff. Dude is hilarious, but he's unhinged. He's got some screws loose. He's a very... Oh, yeah, if Hassan hates him, you're in good company. He's awesome. All right. So he says, I hope everyone lands on their feet quickly. Of course, the responses are like extremely out of touch management that wanted to push a game nobody wanted. Probably zero market research. It was done 5 years ago. Then boss comments like player numbers don't matter. Come on, man. You guys making a game to make money. Don't understand how a studio can bet everything on an already flooded market. Derivative game with mediocre to poor character and gameplay designs. Natural selection. I think, at some point you do have to accept that the whole natural selection of the games market is a factor, right? Legendary drops again saying, don't listen to the haters. Sub 1 hour reviews don't matter. It's a hate campaign. People just didn't like the game, and if they involved people who gave them real feedback early instead of people gaslighting them, things could have been different. Exactly. Sam Hyde broke iDubbbz. Exactly. Yes, that was Sam Hyde. That was when he was doing his Irish boxer thing. So he got done with his boxing match and he stayed in character the whole time, and then he did that clip. And then, of course, Hassan crapped his pants because he's like, he just said he's going to kill me. Oh, iDubbbz's brain is so broken, it's not even funny. It's crazy how awful it is. Reminder that Concord also has a lot of toxic positivity. Yeah, dude, and people are saying that the whole thing with Wildlight, with Highguard, wasn't toxic positivity. It's insane. It's like, that is some of the biggest cope you'll ever see. Oh, okay. Ryan McCaffrey. This dude works... Oh, he's the senior executive editor at IGN. You know what he had to say about this? This is what's great, right? The economics of the video game industry are fundamentally broken. I must have missed that, but watched some of his work for your maybe brilliant comedian in theater. I mean, dude, Sam Hyde, honestly, you don't expect him to have any profound takes. And then he'll do I watched a video of his, I don't remember if it was around the Epstein stuff or something else, but he did a video that was actually really deep. And it's like, wow, that was pretty based. But yeah, the economics of the video game industry are fundamentally broken. That's what the senior executive editor at IGN said. He did have to come back later and say, I should clarify, I'm not making a statement on the game at all. I haven't played it as it's not my... Oh my god! Everybody who wants to defend this game and say that it shouldn't have failed and that the developers are good people and they should all still have jobs, every one of these bastards is saying, it's not for me, it's not for me, it's not for me. There's still more, guys. There's still more. Dude, having a posting quota and what? I may have a posting quota in place. Well, on YouTube, maybe. I don't know. Go work at Starbucks, make my drink. I wouldn't trust Ryan McCaffrey to make my own coffee, to be honest. iDubbbz is a tale of caution of what happens to liberal men. Yeah. Make good money equals dollars. Exactly. The economics are pretty simple. Oh, I think it's the What is a Nation one that I saw. I can't remember. That might be the one I was thinking of. Yeah, my point was their post-launch runway was crazy short, which seems bad business-wise. I guess I should just say live service game economics are fundamentally broken. Still. Come on, dude. Come on. So I said they make a game with no identity and that nobody wanted. Keep coping. You know? Smeg, man. Oh my god, dude. Dude. Dude, you gotta stop, man. Somebody stop him. Please, somebody stop him. I'm seeing some names, though, getting gifted that I haven't seen in a while. That's actually cool to know they're still around. Maybe they don't watch, like, the live streams, but that North Scout one, I want to say he was one of my first 1,000 subscribers back in the day. Smeg, thank you, dude. Holy crap, you are way too generous. I'm going to give you a different one. Let me see. Oh, I don't think I've done this one for a while. Hang on.
I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can fucking current day us. Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit! Because that's all we fucking know! Because we're born!
I should. Oh my god, that one just goes on and on. I should have bleeped it out. That's a lot of F-bombs from one man. Dude, people have made fun of Az so much for that clip over the years. Like, oh, this giant man baby cried about pronouns. Like, guys, you have no idea. How much money do you think he made off that one clip? Just in, like, ad revenue and views and stuff. Like that clip alone, I think, doubled his subscriber count on YouTube. Okay. How do you make Az sound so low? That's incredible. I just had it turned down a little bit. People seem to remember more about Az than Starfield. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, it had no sound? Oh, damn. Okay, so that's one that I gotta fix. I wasn't sure because recently I updated the videos and that one must not have the audio detection on. Let me see here. Where are the properties at? Dan Bass posted that clip on an unmonetized Twitter. Wait, was he the one that first posted the clip? Was Dan Bass, and then oh my god. So you're right. That's where I first saw it, was from Dan's profile. Oh, you had sound, the volume was low. Okay. That was just because my main volume was low. But it could also be that the clip is really quiet too, like the actual recording I've got. I'll try to re-upload that one later on if I think about it. Try to shorten it too, because he goes on for like a minute and a half. They joked about that for months afterward. Dude, I don't watch Dan Bask like videos and stuff. I do love his covers though. That man, holy crap. Like, he can belt it out. He asked Az if he could post it and told Az you might get some heat. Sam's was low as well. Yeah, that's just the audio, either in the recording or I just had the audio too low on OBS. So even Luke Stevens, who's tried to be that good industry-friendly YouTuber, says, I think it's the economics of AAA live service games that are broken. Properly scoped, managed, and marketed single-player games seem perfectly capable of profitability, i.e. KCD2, Expedition 33, Black Myth Wukong, Mugenics. Oh, guys, Mugenics. That's so... You guys kept, like, paying attention to this whole Mugenics thing? Mugenics, not a game I'll probably ever play. In fact, I don't know. I didn't play Binding of Isaac, and that's from the same developer, so I don't know if Mugenics is something I would ever give a shit about. But you can't argue. You cannot argue with these numbers. This game just came out. Not free to play. Not from some major quadruple A studio with $400 million budgets and everything else. This game currently, single player game, 54,000 players in game, 92 and almost 93% positive reviews, turn-based, roguelite, RPG, okay? And this game had an all-time peak of 84,000 players just 10 hours ago, and I don't remember how much it is, price history. 27 bucks. Oh, it's on sale. So it's a $30 game. 30 bucks. Already has almost the same peak that Highguard had at launch. All right. It was in development for years, even I knew about it for some reason. Solid concept. What do you name it? It actually works. Oh, 84,000 is incredible. Gay? Well, I think you can make your cats gay. Oh, somebody asked him about it. Somebody asked him if the cats can be gay, and so Grums was sharing this, and people are like, Grums thinks that this game isn't woke, and it's like, I don't think it's a matter of woke versus not woke. The game has cats that you can genetically modify and fight with each other and all this other shit. It's a weird indie game. It's not one of these things that's supposed to be overthought, I guess, you know. But again, you can't argue with these numbers. 50,000 in sales is good for an indie game, and this one's already got easily, if it's got 84,000 that played it at peak, you just know that there's way more than that have purchased the game. I don't know if it's on console or just Steam. I think it's only on Steam. But still, crazy. Absolutely crazy. Don't make the cats gay. Don't give them the water that's making the frogs gay then. Is it about mewing, facial jaw, bite maxing? Oh my God. Get out of here with that. We're not doing the Mogs, cortisol spiking, looks maxing stuff here. We're not doing that. Holy crap. If I never hear the words clavicular the rest of my life, I will die happy, okay? Like, oh my God. But yeah, so this is my point. People want to be like, oh, it's the economics of games. It's like, no, it's called make a good game. I promise you the cats don't want to be gay. Live services are winner take all. They each want infinity time and infinity dollars. Committing to one means you're not playing the others. I mean, yeah, I think that's a fair argument. I think that's a fair argument. What's broken is the social bias by the games media that gives accolades to products before they personally know the people who make them, therefore ultimately destroying the legitimacy of the publication and the developers in the long run. Fair. Again, a lot of people are suspect if somebody's hyping up a game that nobody's ever played. A lot of people are worried by that kind of crap. Destin Legary, of course, here saying, I guess only needing a small, passionate base of Highguard players was just complete bullshit. I mean, that's pretty sassy. Destin, he was part of the industry for a while, wasn't he? I feel like he was. I can't remember why he's relevant. Big Fry said, we told you. They blame the creators for hate campaigns when in reality this was inevitable from the moment it was shown. And that's the thing, too. It's like people like this. This is one of these that just drives me insane, guys. This one here drives me up a wall. We're going to go through this one in a second because this is just like, this is a lot. Oh, he used to work at IGN. It's a weird game concept. Yeah, Mari, but it works because clearly there's a market for it. Kind of like Schedule 1. I will probably never buy Schedule 1. Not that I'm like, oh, it's a drug-making game, so morally I shouldn't. It's a video game. I don't care about that. The reality is not every game is going to appeal to everybody. But if you can make an indie game that in the first day it's available reaches peaks of 85,000 players on one platform, and your game is $30, even though he sold it for $27, it's going to go back up to $30 at some point. Positive word of mouth. Again, that virality of how popular the game is. People are going to play it. Asmongold will play it. He'll put it on his YouTube channel. People will watch him play it on Twitch. They'll play it themselves. Exponentially, it's probably going to have hundreds of thousands of sales within the next few months. Because that's how this stuff goes. Great games go viral at some point. And then the rest, even if it's a good game, has to compete for attention. You know? So he is ex-IGN. I'm face palming right now, dude. Korean Cowboy, don't get ahead of yourself, man. Don't get ahead of yourself. We'll go through it. Don't worry. Oh, the clavicular thing. My God. Oh yeah, Schedule 1 was great. Again, for the creator. I've played games like it. I played Drug Dealer Simulator a few hours here and there just for video footage and stuff, and it was fine. It wasn't a game that I was going to sink a whole bunch of time into. Have to be a bit more careful in chat because I'm talking about people who that know or knew me. Well, then only chime in where you want to chime in, Susanna. No worries. Games companies need to take a play from the company that made Sonic. Oh my God, dude, Cragfire. The Sonic thing, I think, was a great parallel for what's going on with Overwatch because I have no problem with people taking a look at a character that is being developed and saying, wait a second, what are you guys doing? This character, this is all wrong. So if people truly had an issue with the way the character from Overwatch looked, much like a lot of people did with Sonic, saying this looks weird, you need to fix it, actually saved the Sonic movie. The problem with Overwatch is it's a whole different ball of wax, a whole other bunch of baggage that goes along with it with that insane voice actress. But again, same kind of thing. Seasoned gamer mind like mine, I'm already destroying the post. Yeah. Schedule 1 allows you to make drugs that turn people into aliens. That's pretty insane. All right. So this guy here, Last Chalice. No idea who he is. YouTuber. Maybe he's just a Twitter poster. Streamer. No idea. reflecting on video games with constructive discourse and thoughtful commentary. Oh my God. Just tell me that you fart into a jar and you sniff that stuff because you just love your own brand. It's hard to properly convey everything that runs through my brain when I see something like this, but here's the bullet points. It's not surprising. It was yet another live service shooter. It went out similar to Concord. Concord was $40. This was free. Another case of from the developers of insert popular game comes a new studio and IP. It didn't have a wildly unique art or character appeal. It was the one lasting moment at the Game Awards. It was not a bad game. That's up for debate. That's debatable. Many were not only disinterested, but actively rooted for its failure for entertainment. So what? It would be easy to come to the conclusion that no one wants this live service slop, so quit trying, but that isn't true. All right, hold up a second. Let's go. Let's look at this. You've got... Is this an all-time low? This here be an all-time low. All-time low for this game. It is now down to 1,600 players on Steam. But believe the professional fart sniffer here that it's not a bad game and that the whole no one wants this live service slop, so quit trying isn't true. That's what he says. It's not slop. It's a well-crafted game by a talented team. Many do want live service. Fortnite, Arc Raiders, Apex Legends, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals. So you just named 5 games that are all vastly superior to this one, 3 of which I have played, the other 2 I have no interest in. It's potentially far more profitable than any AAA single-player game could ever be. What? Okay. I want to know something, guys, before we finish this retarded essay that he wrote. How can a multiplayer live service title that is free to play, that lost 90,000 players in the first 24 hours, that relies solely on microtransactions to make any money at all, be more profitable than any AAA single-player game ever could be? I mean, holy crap. There's Cope, and then there's whatever this is. I didn't even read that last line when I first skimmed this earlier and started arguing with this guy. I didn't even catch that he wanted to say it's potentially more profitable than any AAA single-player game could ever be. That's just nuts. So what is the takeaway? Highguard was a familiar-looking live service title that people assumed would fail right away. Had a bad spot at the Game Awards, people clowned on it, and despite being a quality game, good is not enough anymore. Yet live service games, even familiar ones like Ark and Marathon being Tarkov or Marvel Rivals being Overwatch, still have the potential and the appeal to really go places. You're talking about games that have all had, minus Marathon, because Marathon's not out yet. Tarkov has a dedicated player base, but it doesn't have the size of player base of Marvel Rivals, Overwatch, or Arc Raiders. But it definitely has a dedicated fan base. Marathon is yet to be seen. Still have the potential to, and the appeal to really go places. The only thing I can say is we're nowhere near the end of seeing more games like this. He's probably not wrong about that. It's too profitable to not try, but it's also the killing blow if every star doesn't align. It just makes me sad. Now here's the real kicker, guys. Here's the one that I love. Once again, I'm a single player only gamer, so none of this appeals to me, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't exist. There's plenty for me to play, and seeing failure brings me no joy. Okay. Dude, yeah, so this is one that I decided I needed to argue with, right? I said, dog, all that text to say I don't play multiplayer games. And he's like, true, but I'm in my mid-30s. Cope. I'm 40 this year. Cope. And I have played multiplayer games most of my life. I still do. Get good. I'm familiar with how these things work, and I'm consistently tapped into the industry and its happenings. I'm no sage, but I believe I have a decent idea of what I'm talking about. Then I just responded, you referred to it as a quality game. It lost 90,000 players after a few days despite being free to play. Had technical performance and matchmaking issues, none of which I had, by the way. I've been 100% transparent about that. I never had a match crash, and very rarely did I have issues getting into a match, but a lot of other people experienced that. And it had a single repetitive gameplay mode that did not excel in a single area. That is not what I would call a quality game. And of course, he didn't have anything to reply with that. I got some arguments from other people. But the level of cope in this, his reply there was to sniff his own fart. Dude. Oh, man, I have to review the history to say for certain if it's generated or not. Reads too much like outputs. I mean, it's just, my God. He wouldn't be defending this game if it was made by a conservative studio. I mean, there's no such thing as a conservative studio, to be fair. Mid-30s cope, yeah. Hey, Serrano. It's not even cope, it's just straight up delusion. He got debunked and disappeared. He didn't have a legitimate argument to make. He just wanted to do the whole, I like nice things, and I think everybody should make nice things, and it would be nice if every nice thing succeeded, and therefore, we should just say everything is good and nice, right? How long does Highguard have? 2 weeks being the number one response. Oh, man. Well, we'll be back here in a couple weeks. We'll see if that holds true or not. I don't see the point in postponing. I don't see the point in putting it off. Yeah. Conservative studio is just a studio that makes good games. That's truly all it is. It doesn't mean that everyone there is a conservative. It just means they're there to be serious and do the job. That's it. They must have said other really dumb stuff as well. Yeah. Sometimes, a lot of people are like, oh, this is exactly what I'm thinking, blah, 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 this stuff. This one guy here says, it's not a quality game, it's live service slop. If you think live service is anything but that, you'll find yourself constantly wondering why games are in you keep failing. I want to see games like this fail. They're predatory and demand that players devote all their gaming time to their one game. You don't have to play a multiplayer live service game. They can exist, but you need to have ones that are better than the rest to even demand people's time. Fairly price your game. I prefer if all live service games were a straight up buy-in price with no microtransactions. That's a fairy tale world that I wish we could all live in with no microtransactions, so that's fine. Again, somebody else here saying, 1, Highguard wasn't good, it was okay, had promises, but the huge map for 3 was a major show killer. 2, good doesn't cut it for live service PvP games. I think that's also true. So, people are just going to live in their own delusions. This, though, speaking about the whole, I like good things, and I don't want bad things to, I don't want things to fail. I only want good things. I saw this from earlier this morning, and I hadn't bookmarked it, and I was thinking about it, and I wanted to pull it back up, because I'm like, this really gets to the heart of the problem with a lot of these people. When did hating on every game become such a common and prominent personality trait? Back when I was a kid, everyone would get excited for everything. A new game always meant new fun. Now people prey on every game's downfall and rush to find everything wrong with it. When I was a kid, everyone would get excited for everything. I mean, guys, are you supposed to love everything regardless of merit? Is everything great? Is everything equally worth your time and money? Wasn't around for the NES? Probably not. This guy's probably all of 23 years old. Maybe 24. I don't know who this is. 380,000 YouTube subscribers. Good for you, buddy. Good for you that you got that many subs saying the right thing, telling people that good things are good and bad things are bad and that you should only have good things. That's great. I had a Sega. I hated everything on Nintendo. Dude, when I was growing up, we were Nintendo, Then I moved to Xbox and I hated PlayStation. Guess what? I no longer hate PlayStation games. I just don't think I think exclusivity is stupid, We ended up with Reddit because the forums were cesspools of toxicity, right? Yeah. Dude, this man is probably all of, 24, 25, if this is his mentality. People actively hated other companies and their games. Yeah. No, dude, for real. Even God's love isn't 100% unconditional. Oh, that cat doesn't even remember a decade ago, right? I wish I still had my NES. I've got my NES games, but I don't have my original NES because it stopped working. One of these days, I'll get one of those little devices that play them. I said, interesting. So your solution is to just mindlessly consume every crap game that comes out. Back when you were a kid, have you been on social media back then? I do not understand how many players absolutely lash out on social media about the dumbest shit. No, I suppose I was not. Was online gaming discourse as pessimistic back in 2010 as it is now? Yeah, so this guy's really young. Here's the actual response, okay? This is an actual response from somebody who has a brain. Because consumers have wasted their money on ass games for 10 plus years. Now any show of checklist, generic, common, yet somehow expensive, realistic graphics that makes every game the same, etc., is met with skepticism and harsh critique. Making a personal project for you and not making it for consumers, but hoping consumers will buy it, is the fallacy of modern game developers and studios. I'm not making this game for you, don't play it if you don't like it, or just the exact opposite, yet exactly the same concept you mentioned, where defenders create a you're with us or against us mentality and attack anyone in droves who dares to disagree with their beliefs. It's because they don't make games for players anymore. It's all about maximizing profits and has nothing to do with the actual experience. Maybe if the games would be better, we could be more positive. Oh, there you go. Hate and outrage gets clicks and engagement. Yeah, because video game commentary created the negative news cycle, right? Wait a second. I'm pretty sure if it bleeds, it leads has been a thing for about what? I don't know, 100 years plus? How long's the mainstream media been around? Any sort of journal, newspaper outlets, news station? These people would see a bakery doing turd muffins, say how those are why those are unique, not buy them, not say it's shit, go to another store and be surprised the store closes. Exactly, dude. It's the same people. They don't want the slop. They don't think it looks fun. They just simply say, "Oh, I think that's great. It's just not for me. Not for me." You know. This guy's, oh my god, this guy looks like a brainiac. Oh, Rambo, pro Apex player. Florida State alumni. Only person I follow that follows him is Nick Merckx. Okay, so he's probably one of these. Yeah. Highguard's downfall, I think, will forever be the release day. Had way too many streamers and people on the internet shitting on it. Too many people listen to what their favorite streamer has to say instead of giving the game a try, so a lot of people never even opened it up. I think the attention span of gamers, or maybe people in general, is so short nowadays that you have such a small window to gain success in this field. He's not wrong about that part. He's not wrong that you do have to catch people like with something interesting to get that actually pull them away from a different game. The game idea and core of the game is really effing good. Nope. That right there is where you're full of shit. The game gets super competitive at the highest level, but unfortunately it was just an uphill battle after the first day. And I just said 97,000 players on launch day. Stop with this shit. Nick Tech. Just a gaming YouTuber, probably a lefty, probably a liberal, because honestly, most of these guys are, they, you know, whatever. Says, I honestly played it and gave it the benefit of the doubt before jumping to any conclusions, but the game simply wasn't that good in a world where so many amazing competitive games already exist. 6.5 out of 10 at best. I'd say a 6 or a 6.5 is probably genuine. 98,000 current players on Steam at peak, and somehow people have the audacity to say so. A lot of people never even opened it. The delusion here is insane, absolutely crazy. Yeah. Luke Stevens again coming back saying, is that true though? With almost 100,000 concurrent players on launch day and an estimated 1 million installs just on Steam, seems like a lot of people tried it. They didn't stay because they didn't like it enough. People did try it, they just didn't like it. These people will literally play 4 games a year and say, you know, it was pretty good. Person who played Dustborn. If there were bad reviews, took a while to see them pop up in the old gaming mags like EGM or GamePro. True. Oh yeah, Wild's got a lot of hate. Dude, Wild's had like, what, 2 million people playing it when it first launched and mostly negative reviews. Okay, like that was a thing, guys. You guys recall, that was what, early last year that game came out? I think 2025. When Wild's launched, it was massively negative, overwhelmingly negative reviews, but it still had, what was the play? Oh, I gotta find this out now. Hang on a second. I need to see this. Huh. Yeah. Okay. Here you go. Peak for Monster Hunter Wilds 11 months ago. 1.4 million players. 1.4 million players. The game to this day, after over 300,000 reviews, is still sitting at only 46.81% positive. And you're telling me that a review bombing campaign killed a free-to-play game. Monster Hunter Wilds was a $70 game. $70. And they also, I'm pretty sure, had deluxe editions that cost more than that. And it got 1.4 million player peak 11 months ago with massively negative reviews. The hate didn't matter because the game was, to us, that wanted it what it needed to be. Yeah, it did have a lot of performance issues, though. I know there was a lot. You're right, I do get a lot of hate. No. Nobody hates you. You're perfect. Everyone loves you just the way you are. Luke Stevens now leading the proper way once the tide shift is clear. That guy usually fence sits like... Yeah, well, QC, it still kind of is fence sitting. It's just that he can kind of lean one way or the other depending on how the winds blow, you know? Yeah, Wilds runs like crap. That's what the majority of the reviews are that are negative. But keep in mind, Equilibrium, a lot of the complaints about Highguard from people... Like, for me, I didn't have any performance issues with Highguard. I had no problems finding matches, and I never got disconnected from a match. None of those problems happened to me specifically. I did have one match where somebody else got disconnected. However, that was a very real problem for a lot of the negative reviews. A lot of people. Hell yeah, I'm into you, man. Of course I am. 12,000 concurrent on a 46% rated game is hilarious when compared to Highguard. And especially when you consider the fact that this game, $70 buy-in, you know? People can still enjoy it for what it is, but not what to recommend it for the very valid reasons as well. Yeah, exactly. You could say the game runs like crap. I don't love X, Y, or Z about it, but I'm still having a fun time with it, you know? What's the umbrella term for most of these posts? Posts is toxic positivity. People don't have to like anything just because. I would say it's definitely toxic positivity. I think that's probably the most accurate description of it. The problem is that it seems to be happening more and more and more. Also, this narrative needs to go away that people just randomly hate on things. There's literally zero incentive to hate a game for no reason. Very little people are doing that, if any. Dude, I will admit, when you have a bias against a game like, let's say, South of Midnight, let's say Relooted, let's say Dustborn, or any other game, Spider-Man 2, God of War Ragnarok, things that we know had involvement with companies like Sweet Baby Inc. and all that crap, right? We have obvious issues because it's ideological, because we hate the people that are connected to it. Ideologically, we're opposed to them. Whatever your reason is, right? But at the end of the day, if a product is good, despite your differences with the person who made it, if you're being honest with yourself, you're still going to enjoy the product. You're still going to enjoy the game, the movie, the music, whatever it is, right? I don't look at a game and go, I'm supposed to hate this game. I have to hate this game. No, most of the time what happens is if I expect the game is going to be bad, when I play it, guess what? It's usually not great. Even Highguard was better than I thought it was going to be, and yet still wasn't great. Yeah, well, no, that's to be, if SBI is involved, I'm probably going to hate it. Yo, that chat froze like a mother effer, dude. That was crazy. No, so prime example though, SBI was involved in Hyper Light Breaker. Indie game. I'm not sure if any of you guys even heard about it. It was the sequel to the first game, or Hyper Light something. I guess Hyper Light Breaker was the sequel, right? I got a review copy of it on Keymailer, played it, and I'm like, wow, this game's really boring. Nothing woke about it. Nothing that was like, oh, non-binary, transgender, African-American slavery reparations. None of that garbage. There was never a moment for that to be in the game as far as I could tell. It just wasn't a very good game, right? Played it, but don't remember anything about it. Didn't finish it. All I remember from South of Midnight, from what I watched on playthroughs of it, the character, so beyond annoying, it's not even funny. Which is how all these characters are written. They're all annoying. Because the people writing them aren't talented. They're just ideologues. They don't know how to write good characters. I did know it, but I agree it seemed boring and the players expressed that in their reviews. Yeah, Hyper Light Breaker was just kind of eh. It's like, okay, so basically it's like, it reminded me a bit of Risk of Rain 2, but not as good. Risk of Rain 2 is a much better game. pretty good at separating my feelings from trying to give it a fair chance, but I'm still going to base a review on it based on the emotions of my experience with it. Well, that's also fair because how you feel about it in the moment playing it is also very important. I was pleasantly surprised that Highguard, that I was actually able to plug in and invest time into Highguard. That made it much more easy for me to leave a fair review where I go, okay, I got into it. I won a bunch of matches. Sometimes I was the kill leader on my team, most valuable player, whatever they didn't have that term on there, but still. And at the end of it, I'm like, and I still don't care. I still don't want to play it, you know? Should play the game that the women developers create, these progressives love to champion. I mean, that's the thing, man. That's what they never play those themselves. Yeah, all the self-inserts, dude. 1,000 games, that's crazy. The stories and characters are incredibly important, and when ideology is inserted, it hobbles a story. Yeah. 1,000 games, man, that's something. That really is something. Yeah, all the marketing leading up to it was streamers shilling for it. So, this is one more of those posts that I saw that was pretty much spot on, right? So from Noir on Twitter, says, Highguard's dev team got laid off. Horizon Hunters Gathering got more dislikes than likes. Relooted released DOA. Ubisoft is in flames with strikes and cutbacks. Seriously, Western devs, just stop. This is not working. Go back to traditional gaming. How many more flops, layoffs, and how much more money do you want to lose to push this modern gaming shit? And I get what he's saying. I get it. The problem is that the majority of people, and even if it's not the majority, the market for the live service crap is too massive. There are still too many whales and too many people who spend $20, on V-Bucks or Apex coins or whatever without thinking about it because they go, it's only $10. It's only $20. Yeah, I'll get the battle pass and I'll max it out. And that way I can just keep renewing it and stuff. Haven't started to sit through my Steam library. I do spend a lot of my free time trying demos. Yeah, I've tried a fair amount of demos. In fact, I tried the demo for Morbid Metal. Next video I do, I'll use that background footage. It's a game that's being published by Ubisoft, but it's from an independent developer, I'm pretty sure. It could be interesting. It's kind of a blend of, I don't want to say Ghost Runner, because Ghost Runner's first person, but it has that kind of vibe. Very, like, robotic, cyborg kind of stuff. Oh, Tekla's in here. I didn't know. Pumping up. Hey, Tekla. Not even sure I killed 1,000 demons in Diablo. Yeah, I was seeing something. Apparently, Diablo 2 remasters out now, I guess. I don't know. I love Diablo 2. I don't really feel like playing the remaster, though. They'll literally go out of business first. Just look at Highguard. They don't react to market changes. They're idealistic and will follow the message. Yeah, but see, Highguard wasn't a byproduct of the... I mean, okay, so the studio, the internal culture of the studio, God only knows. They're based here in Washington. They're in Seattle. Alex Frostwolf, the community manager, is a lunatic. I'm sure a lot of the devs probably are aligned, like mentally, ideologically aligned with her. So it could be that wokeness in the studio was the main problem. But the game itself wasn't even like a woke train wreck, a Frankenstein's monster of a game. It was just a poorly executed game that didn't really serve any purpose of existing. So the message side of that isn't even like they tried to cram a message into it. It's just not a good game. And you can tell it was just not made by people who had any clear direction. Now, that is a result of people in the studio not listening to criticism, not feeling like they have any guiding light, if you will. They're activists first. Yeah, exactly. They're not good at their craft. Yeah, so you are right in maybe the cause, what starts them off on the wrong foot. Seattle's fallen. Dude, Seattle, if you guys seen the video of Seattle back like 50, 60 years ago, it's crazy. Not even the same place anymore. Apparently got released on Steam as well yesterday. I'm curious. I don't after what they did with the Diablo remaster where they changed the Amazon chick to make her look like a man, I have no faith in a Diablo 2 remaster. As much as I love that game. So, speaking of being tone deaf, guys, not Highguard specifically, but my god, this is giving me Concord Highguard vibes. Apparently, the lead singer for Imagine Dragons, we were talking about this on Discord earlier today, Dan Reynolds and his brother Mac have been making their own game since 2021. It is a 5v5 capture the flag with 9 playable characters. I don't understand. Let me switch to the other screen. I'm not understanding who thinks any of this is a good idea. I don't.
Meanwhile, beneath the blue team's base.
All right, team. Huddle up. Next game starting. So here's the plan.
Bye, no.
You're on flag duty. Remember, you can hide it anywhere. So get creative. Jake?
Got it. Sorry, CG.
Parker, you're on intel.
Did they really add a meme to the game? Oh my god. My main question, this is a woman, this is a man. I think it's a guy. You've got ugly woman, maybe kind of emo Asian goth girl, big burly man, black guy with the mustache. I don't know if this is a man or a woman. I have no idea. Man, woman.
Get that bird in the sky. Scope radar towers A and B.
It's a boy, are you sure?
Get scanning for the red team flag. Then we unleash our secret weapon.
The red team's listening.
And how do you know that? Suit. Do your thing.
Can we get more stereotypical? Doesn't Monster Hunter doesn't Horizon Hunter's Gathering have an Asian-ish looking chick that's like the goth ninja one?
Sneak past enemy lines to find that red flag. Kicking butt along the way.
Easy. We'll see you.
No, I hate the art style, but at least the character looks good.
Camilla. Now, once we have the flag.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Flag carrier towards home base. Because you know they'll be riding out bunker.
Wait, what?
Stick to this brilliantly devised plan. We got this in the bag. Let's boogie. Wait, why do you still have that? You only got 4 seconds left. Bingo.
And it's not Fortnite.
New plan.
Presence.
Just wing it.
God.
It is like this tangible thing that you can point to and say, hey man, I love you. This many dollars worth.
Dustborn Peak 83, south of Midnight 63.
Wow.
57, albeit Steam charts. I do sense a pattern. I guess the message is more important than the game.
Dustborn peaking at 83 doesn't shock me. South of Midnight only got 63 peak players on Steam. Holy crap. Hey, Vernum, I see that you're thinking about the important parts. Not even going to have Rule 34 of this kind of stuff here. I mean, guys, I need you guys to see this. Look at, this is supposed to be a female, right? The black looking one. I have no words for what I'm looking at. That's, oh my God. Yeah, there's Spread Eagle and then there's whatever the hell that is. Dude, Smeg, thanks for the 5, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, that's crazy. I didn't realize that. It's been a long time. I didn't realize that South of Midnight was that low. That's nuts. No, so that was kind of where I wanted to leave things off, because we're talking about Highguard and the oversaturation of the market, the 5v5 mode, the games that it's too similar, the art style, the seemingly lack of direction, repetitive gameplay loops and whatnot. And oh look, Imagine Dragons, a band that I can't stand. I hate their music. They're making a video game. Like, okay, why? The girl with the braids at least has. I mean, yeah, she's hot. She's cute. Oh, 1.4 thousand. Okay, see, that makes more sense. That I can at least... I'm like, that was nuts. That's crazy. Papa T on Kick says, hey, friend, I know growing your Kick channel and... Oh, fuck off. We gonna ban you now. Get ready to get banned. You banned. Bye-bye. Telling you guys, all that exists on Kick is bots. Lots and lots of them. Bots, bots, and more bots. You ever wonder why those Kick streamers have viewers? Yeah, it's bots. Although, to be fair, I do kind of feel the same way about Rumble a lot of the time. Rumble, a lot of the big streams. Oh, we broke records. 5 million zillion views on this stream. No, you didn't. When's Creed gonna make? Dude, do you guys not remember? Do you guys remember the music video for, what was the song? Bullets? Is that the name of the song? It's really strange how bots don't show up on YouTube anymore. It's actually gotten really good. Kino Casino doesn't need a bot. No, because they can just milk everybody for content. Gotta say, I don't watch Kino Casino. I don't know. Something about them's a little off-putting. But I do appreciate the farming, the milking of some of these people. What was the name of that? Hang on. I can't play the audio because it'll get copyright claimed instantly. But let me see if I can find this. Hang on. I think it's Bullets. Oh, yeah. Yep. 16 years ago. Here we go. Let me pause this. And I gotta mute it. Yeah, you can smell Kino's Casino exactly.
Video game again.
Oh my god. Wait, did 50 Cent have his own game? Oh, I forgot the best platform. Yeah, Kick's the best platform, exactly. Oh my god. Yeah, wait a minute, what the hell is this? Oh my god, come on, it's Bullets by Creed. 50 had a few games? Lugia, thanks for the 2, buddy. Appreciate you. Korean Cowboy. You don't know what this is? Oh, come on. Well, okay, guys, to be fair, the budget for this video was probably like 2 McDonald's, quarter pounders and a lotto ticket or something. I'm just saying. No, the funny part was this Bullets was the song Creed opened up with when I saw them this last year. And I was a little worried, given Scott Stapp's age, that it was going to sound kind of rough, And my God, he actually has gotten... He's still going strong. It's great. Yeah, Susano, I didn't watch music videos back in the day either, but what I would do was, prior to Spotify being as big as it is now, like when I was first dating my wife, that was back in the era of you put on a song like on YouTube or whatever, so you can read the lyrics or whatever, or listen to it in the car. And then you didn't get out of the car until the song was over, right? Yeah, back when I actually had time, inclination, and all that. I think the video is actually more than 16 years old. I want to say it came out longer than that, but I don't know why. It should be. I don't know. Anyways, guys. Dire Straits Money for Nothing. That's 3D graphics. Oh, you still have a playlist on your phone? I used to do that. I used to put all my my music onto MP3 files and stuff, and then use my MP3 player. But I prefer Spotify now, just so I can listen to whatever I want to in an instant. It's a man owl, not an archangel. Oh, whatever, man. Video's probably before the Xbox launch. I think so. All right. I'm going to call it a night because, guys, I'm not even going to pretend. I want to go finish the first Witcher book. I've got 30 pages left because I want to get started on the second one. And I want to get some sleep because, my God, I need some energy for work and for getting a video out tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I have no idea. I don't know what I'm going to cover. I got no clue. Yo, Quagmire is saying on Discord that the Root app actually is not bad, it looks like. I was kind of thinking about the Root app. I saw Big Fry talking about it. I got to check that out, though. Witcher for the win. Oh, dude, I had never read the books before. First one's pretty solid. Definitely, it's not as interesting as playing the video game, but hey, it's a video game, right? Quit Wayward because Netflix is too gay for me, so started Penguin on HBO, and it's fantastic. That's good. Yeah, no worries. I'll go ahead and raid, and then that way, if anyone wants to hang around and watch you play Relooted, Empress is going to subject herself to playing Relooted for anybody who's not ready to turn in for the night. If you want to see somebody make themselves suffer playing... I'm not kidding, guys. Relooted, yeah, okay, so right off the bat, there's historical inaccuracies, if you will, things that they blatantly lie about. They just straight up
Do I
lie
need to be liked?
because they want
Absolutely
to.
not.
They have to.
I like to be liked.
17
Enjoy being
months.
liked.
My God,
Have to be
man.
liked.
Fine, Dan. Take my money and go. JK. All the best.
How has it already been 17 months? That is insane, Smeg. Well, dude, I appreciate the hell out of you. I appreciate all you guys for hanging. I appreciate all you guys for sticking with me through the weird times, the good times, and the bad. There's been a little bit of all of those. And like I said, it's been a learning process over the years. And honestly, not a lot of learning has actually happened on my end.
Absolutely not. I like to be liked.
Where the hell are
Enjoy
we?
being liked. I have to be liked.
Oh, I play the worst game in the world, so you don't have to. There you go. Smeg's beating me by 3. Well, DB Wild, you're going to have to figure out how to catch up. Dude, 14 months. Crazy, man. Absolutely wild. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. How is it all female streamers have the same glowy blue pink lighting? I don't know. Maybe they're all coordinated. Watch the state of play. I'll try to watch the state of play tomorrow. We was looters and shit. QC jerks. It will never not be censored. That's just, I've been on YouTube's shit list for about a year and a half now. And I'm lucky if my streams even have a chat replay so people can see the chat if they want to watch the stream afterwards. State of play would work for a video. You know, I'll probably cover Marathon in a video tomorrow night because State of Play is going to have a lot of news about Marathon. Marathon is got a lot of the same kind of coping going on from the people thinking it's going to be like the next big thing. I think he does like you. In fact, DB Wild is an equal opportunist. I think he'll like anybody who likes him back. I know, but I'm not going to be streaming it. I'll be at work. And I really need to get work done tomorrow. Plus, I think I'm taking the kids with me tomorrow. Wife's going to help at work, and then we're going to all hit the gym afterwards because my daughter's got a class at the gym, so we're just going to leave work a little early and go do that. So got to go work out my old man bones. I do like how Marathon looks, but I don't like multiplayer games. Yeah. Well, I'm the exact opposite. I hate the look of the game, and I have enough multiplayer games. Man, it's just whatever. Any Lords of the Fallen streams? Just started playing the game. I think it's red. I played Lords of the Fallen right before the last big update. Didn't love it. I streamed it right after I picked it up. I have not sat down and done a video game stream in a long time. I'm long overdue. If I stream on Friday night, if I actually manage to get a stream in on Friday night, I might just shoot for a game stream. And then we can kind of go from there. I'm not streaming Reloaded, guys. Not doing it. I know Vera streamed it. Kata streamed it. They got a bunch of super chats, and they did very well. Kudos to them. I don't hate myself enough. I can't do it. It's not worth it, man. It's just not. So if I'm going to stream a game, it needs to be something that I actually want to play. Hope they fixed Lords by now. I think they have. All that means is I like some chicks' art, not theirs. That is fair. I never played the OG Dark Souls. I've been recommended it many times. Dark Souls 3 was my entry into the Dark Souls franchise. Freaking love that game. And then, of course, I went on to play Elden Ring, finished Elden Ring, got the DLC, played through about 70% of the DLC. Yes, Serrano, but even that being said, I don't have that weird goal of like, oh yeah, you guys buy the game and I'll play it. I just don't care. And I wouldn't even need that because it's on Game Pass. I just straight up have zero interest in playing it, man. Yeah, 3 was way more polished, absolutely. So got to keep the fam main priority for sure, dude. But even that being said, even if I had time to stream it from work, I do have some stuff at work I got to get taken care of. So I need to be more focused on that. Play Reloaded now? No, I don't think so. If you, like I said, Empress will be good. She should be starting any minute now. So you guys want to watch somebody play Reloaded? Go watch her to your heart's content. I'm going to go finish my book and get some sleep. So I will catch you guys all probably on Friday. Maybe we'll do a game stream on Friday. I'd need way more than the price of the game. Like I said, for me, the game would be free. So, it wouldn't be so much of I need to be bribed into playing it. I just wouldn't enjoy it. Guys, I played the demo. I played the demo for like an hour, and I'm like, why does this thing exist? You know, they say, oh, it's not for me, but it should be allowed to exist. No, Reloaded should not be allowed to exist. It should not. You will never see a short of me playing that god-awful game. Absolutely not. Oh yeah, gotta be like DSP. Oh man, I gotta add some DSP clips into my stream repertoire, my catalog of video clips. Yeah, it shouldn't exist, man. It's a tax write-off. That's why it exists. It's like fake meat, exactly. My reparations, my feelings. Yeah, no. Not happening. Not for me. All right, guys. Like I said, I'm going to pull the plug on this in a second. It's going to send you guys over to Empress. She should be getting going any minute now, and I'm going to be out of here. Let's shoot for doing a video game stream on Friday. That sounds like fun. And then I'll be off for the weekend because Valentine's Day and all that good stuff. So, Smeg, DB, Abyssinian, QC Jerks, Cragfire, of course, Susano and Lugia, Serrano. Who else we got in here still? Empress, of course, was here. Equilibrium, love you, dude. You guys, DB Wild. I appreciate it. I have a hard time asking people to mod for me, but you guys have been super reliable. Haven't really needed the mod support because people are pretty chill, but I appreciate the hell out of you guys even for jumping in and doing that. I think who did I? Oh, Tekla, of course. Sorry, buddy, missed you. Cage, apologize for not letting you know I was streaming. I thought the notification would have told you. Geekazu, glad that you're still hanging here, dude. All right, guys, I'm out. Catch you later. If I missed you, I apologize, but I need sleep. Bye-bye.